Then it all comes crashing here and reminds me of the past. And sometimes I hear your name. Sometimes I hear your name. It reminds me of the pain. Well, I guess you read me right, 'cause I am a foolish man. But at least I understand. But at least I understand. And I've learned to live with it. Memories like grains of sand, lying helpless on the beach. But the ones you need so bad, the ones you need so bad, are the ones you cannot reach. grains of sand. Morning, everybody. How you doing, Anna, Ronan, Nexus, Rick? Good to see you, buddy. Real good to see you. Aussie, glad to see you up. Steve, good to see you. Let's see who else we got here. Drip, yeah, ding-a-ling, where you at? Anna, Ronan, good to see you. Well, few this morning. Not as many as I usually get in the evening, but a few in the morning. That's all right. Anyways, hey, Big D, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Some people have been talking about some of the new stuff that's been happening with YouTube censorship, and have been talking about how they're going to start censoring links and stuff to offsite stuff that they may deem egregious danger to other people, so it depends on how you want to define that. But what people don't realize is that this stuff is a little further and a little deeper than many may realize. There's coordination between not just what YouTube's doing, but many other social media sites and universities and some of our own government agencies. How you doing, Red? Good to see you. So I think it's things that people need to be aware of, and I'm going to I might as well just get right into it. And here's an article that Michael Schellinger. By the way, if people want links, you can ask. I'm not sure what YouTube is going to do, but for all you Aussies and New Zealanders out there, you might find this a little shocking. In fact, I'd be surprised if you didn't find this shocking.
It looks like an Aussie or New Zealand flag, anyway.
It's a former New Zealand Prime Minister that resigned.
Mm-hmm.
And now get this, Uwe. The United Nations is training people worldwide to demand censorship by social media platforms and their fellow citizens for potential harmful content. At least one U.S. government-funded group, the Atlantic Council, is involved, which I already know that there's more involved. And it says, our discovery of this shocking news comes on the same day that Harvard's Beckman Klein Center announced it's hiring a former New Zealand Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, to oversee its advocacy of censorship at a global level. Huh. I wonder how the New Zealanders are going to feel about that. So I kind of wish Dan was here. I don't think he knows this.
Dan is in chat.
He was. I don't know if he still is. But
It's half past 2 in the morning there. So.
He's probably be going to bed, I would think. I was kind of surprised to see him here, and I didn't think he'd be here this morning. Well, that's not really, considering that the censorship in New Zealand was quite heavy. For this woman to be to be put into this position is quite interesting, considering she resigned as prime minister over there because of the backlash for censorship and many other things. It says Arden's known globally as a dedicated and effective leader in pursuing greater online platform accountability, content moderation standards through Christchurch Call, wrote Harvard, a community of over 120 governments, online service providers, and civil society organizations. The UN is calling it its program, Social Media for Peace. It's a pilot program for pro-censorship activists based in Bosnia, Herzegovina, Colombia, Indonesia, and Kenya. It's sponsored by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization UNESCO. It says it held its first online meeting for censorship workers in Kenya and Colombia this weekend and last. The UN effort emphasizes research and monitoring, but as is the US, the explicit goal is to pressure social media platforms to censor disfavored voices. It says, and the UN censors are going further than the US censors did. Some even demand censorship of negative comments about public figures and appearances. Others require the power to censor slang, and the social media platforms might miss. And he says, at the end, as troubling as Facebook and Google are already working on, the UN-funded industrial censorship industrial complex. And as we know, that's already been, as Uwe, we were on Vic BC's last night. We were talking about what some of the things that YouTube changed unbeknownst to many of the creators. They are now going to be censoring links that may be posted in chat or in the description of your videos and things like that. So you won't be able to post, say, hey, I got this link, go check it out, and you throw it up there in your chat and think you're going to be fine. Well, no. That very could be censored. And on top of that, we don't know what the consequences are. Are the channels going to get a strike? Are the people who posted it going to get a strike? Is what? Well, what's going to go on? That's the big question.
I mean, it fits directly in that what Elon said about let's say the organization in Twitter, that 80% of the stuff was just there for being a censorship office.
Yeah, pretty much. His statement was, because he was questioned about he's only got 20% of his staff left, and they were asking how he's running Twitter like that. And he says, well, if it's not used as a censorship platform, you don't need all them people. That's the thing. So now it seems, and I know, like in Uwe's case in Germany, they can actually be, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can actually be arrested for speaking out against certain things, correct, Uwe?
Yes.
And by the way, Drip, I'll let you see that picture one more time, because I know that'll help you sleep at night. I'll leave that up for a minute just for Dan. So that's where we're headed. And anybody that does creation on YouTube should be aware that with their policy changes, it's a little vague as to what's going to go on and what they won't. But it's pretty much as anything. It's going to be how they deem it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Yeah, exactly, Hooper. Yeah, I've read this book before. I agree with you.
I can guarantee you what's going on now in case of Germany, I can only speak. The Stasi and the KGB from back from the days from Russia would be proud to learn a lot because they would never ever thinking about this stuff. I can guarantee you that. This they they don't even have to have any evidence or proof that you are guilty in a certain way. They just need a suspicion that you could be in whatever situation calling in a terrorism group or whatever. They don't even have to have any proof or whatever, and they can storm your house like you were whatever a mass murder or whatever.
Well, but
So
here's a key word you used there, Uwe. I'll have to point this out. Guilty. Guilty of what? Of speaking the truth? Of
yeah,
pointing out facts? Of what's really
that's
going on?
that's what they say. If you let's say what they call conspiracy theories, if you bring that up, like you say anything different to the part of the war in Ukraine or on the pandemic or on especially on our immigration politics and stuff like that, you're not only a racist then, and you're not only political incorrect. They take you in a situation that is beyond everything. And I said that a couple of weeks before. There was a podcast from a German mainstream media radio channel that is a digital radio channel, and that's based on the biggest German media group, the mainstream media. So and that's a media we have to pay for. We have to. We can't even say we don't want to pay. We have to pay that every month, about 23, 24 euros a month. So, and in that radio channel, there was a podcast where they almost not in the words in literally, but in the word they in the sentence they speak, they equaled pedophiles with 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 what you call it, not pedophiles. If you are against the critters, that's the same. Yeah, they say if you are saying you don't eat critters because this or that or whatever, that would be the same as what you would say pedophile would be.
Oh, gotcha.
Not that bad, you know.
Yeah,
and
they're trying to equate the two. Yeah.
and that shows you how far this freaking propaganda goes. That's on over everything what you ever have thought about. I said it
Well,
this morning on the Big PCs. We have books here. They are on the market for 150 years, whatever. I don't know exactly when Karl May was living. The time I don't have the time completely, but he was very, very famous book writer, and he made this like Western books with about the Indians, like Winnetou, and and that was all over the books. Every child read that books. Everybody have seen the movies and TV and stuff like that. They
yep.
banned it all from TV, and they banned the books out of the market.
Yep.
In the 30s, they were burning the books who were from a certain race or in with certain topics, And this is
Right.
exactly the same.
Well, absolutely, it's the same. They want to control not just the information, but your own thoughts.
Yeah,
They
it doesn't fit in their agenda of racism, in their agenda of trans and LGBTQ woke shit and all that bullshit.
well, let me touch upon this a little bit. Logic. It isn't just online now. With like in Canada, they have Bill C-11. Here in the United States, we have the Restrict Act going. And if anybody's not heard of that, I suggest you go to our government's websites or your government's websites if it's about Bill C-11 in Canada. The basically the Restrict Act, they brought that under the guise that they're gonna censor TikTok here in the United States and everything, and it's everything else but that. They want to be able to monitor and restrict your speech not only online, but even what you're texting to other people on your phone. So
Yeah,
like if you send a link to a family member, say, "Hey, check this out," they may very well censor that. That's just crazy. To think that you're not going to even be able to take and be able to speak your mind with your own friends and family in a text message or maybe even a telephone call. I don't know. I can't. I don't know if it's going to go that far. I would bet that it would. But to think that you're not going to be able to speak to your own friends and family in what historically has been what you would consider a private conversation without prospect of being censored or in some cases possibly even arrested. There's many countries out there where if you speak out against the leadership, they will arrest you. And now it seems like that's what they want here for the Western world as well. That's insane.
yeah, yeah.
The idea that you're not able to speak your mind, or as we've been doing for the past couple of years, where we got to speak in code words or we have to watch what we say. Never as an adult did I think, I was going to have to censor myself for speaking about my thoughts on what's going on, what I believe to be true, what I've read and what I've seen. And everybody in here right now, just as we're talking, in their case, if all of a sudden they decide they don't like what we're saying, they're going to censor all of us. Or if I have a troll come into chat and he drops a link to something that they deem as dangerous or something like that, are they going to knock my channel off, or are they going to do it personal to people? What do they got going on? But the mere fact that we even have to have this discussion and talk about it is insane.
Yeah, I'm totally aware of that. They can knock on my door every minute, but I'm scared about so many things. But I'm not scared about that. If they pick me up and they arrest me, it is what it is. So I will not shut up and will not hide the truth from everybody else who is not aware of the truth.
Yeah.
And it will be very, very interesting. And it's just a question of hours probably when Dr. Campbell gonna pick up the topic I sent you earlier today.
Yeah.
From the Telegraph. From the Telegraph, he will pick that up. I'm pretty sure he will. So that will be interesting. What comes out of that? If that stays on or if that gets censored. So.
Well, and it's just like that video from Great Britain News. You know, that video is still up. I'm quite surprised that it's still up because that guy kind of laid it all right out.
Yeah, and that all these cases make you think: is even there an agenda behind that? What they let go and what they take down and stuff.
Well,
It's
it's obvious there's an agenda behind it now, Uwe. There's no doubt about that. Anybody who thinks otherwise hasn't been paying attention.
it will be really interesting if Tucker Carlson finds any platform where he can start his own show. It will be very interesting. I don't think he's gonna get the chance on YouTube. I don't think so. They're gonna block him straight away from the beginning. I'm pretty sure. So
what do you think about that there, Dan, that your former prime minister is going to be heading away on all that stuff? Isn't that great? How you doing, Italian Princess? Good to see you. Well, that's the thing, Anna. They're going to go after whoever they deem they want to go after. It's just like, you know, I've seen a lot of things. You even look back during the Canadian Ottawa thing during the convoy and the things that went on there, and they claim that it was the people being violent, when in all actuality it was the police. You know, they'll claim otherwise, but video don't lie. Certainly not in that case. There's too many live streamers there. You know, and what's the next thing? I'm not going to be able to talk about that. You know, I can't. It's bad enough that I have to use code words for the Kool-Aid or the magic potion or the jib jab or whatever. The idea that that's what we're relegated to now is having to censor ourselves or being afraid to speak up, you know, or afraid of having anything on your channels that talks about what's going on in real life. We just can't do it. You know, I mean, I'm looking at the headlines here from a page that I just read that piece from, and you know, one of them is the censorship industrial complex is the revolt of the elites. Yeah, I'm assuming against the people. One of them, Davos, is a gift and a cult, but it's also a bid for global domination. No doubt.
I'm getting really, really freaking mad if I hear the word elites. You know, these bastards are everything else, but not a fucking elites. That's for sure.
No, absolutely not.
That is the worst species this freaking civilization ever seen.
You know, and here's one. This is what this to me speaks volumes of how much people aren't understanding what's going on. It says victory. Gavin Newsom calls in National Guard for San Francisco drug dealing crackdown. Huh. Just what we want is a military acting as a police force. Granted, I'm great. They're cracking down on drugs. That's awesome. But we shouldn't be doing it with the military. Never should it be done with the military.
Yeah, them guys who ended the protest in Ottawa, these guys were not normal police forces. No way.
Oh, no, they were brought in from all over the country for ones who would volunteer to do it, Uwe.
Yeah.
That much they admitted to. So basically they were no more than thugs from other areas that didn't care about the people who were there.
In the first days, or let's say the first 3 weeks, you could always see in their eyes that most of them don't want to be there.
No.
But these guys, you couldn't even see anything in their eyes because they were absolute like a stone. They were no mercy. They would have killed to end it. That guys were just without any sympathy or any antipathy against any. These guys would do everything they were told.
Yep. And that's coming to our countries. And that's going to become the norm. That's why I said when they say claim that's a victory for them to be doing that by using the National Guard to do that, they shouldn't need to.
What do you mean, Casey? Military is in San Francisco?
They're using the National Guard to crack down on so-called drug dealers, Uwe, in California.
All right.
And you know as well as I do, when they start using military for that kind of stuff, what happens? You know, historically, we know what happened in your country. It wasn't good for the people at all. That's the problem. And here they're calling that a victory. How's that a victory? Military in the streets for law enforcement? No, I don't think so. Yeah, and, you know, logic. That's very true. I think, and I agree. People are going to start doing private streams in the future, or they'll be going to other platforms and stuff. But the thing of it is it going to make a difference? Like the Bill C-11 in Canada and the Restrict Act here in the United States goes. And I'm sure many other countries already have a lot of things like that in place or being put in place.
Yeah.
You know, if it isn't social media monitoring, it's going to be some governmental organization or some NGO or any, who knows?
I mean, they already trained it when they had the COVID lockdowns. The people were not allowed to meet in person anymore. You know, and everybody has to be at home at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. It depended on the area where you are. But that was exactly the stuff what happened here in the 20s and in the 30s and 40s. That they, especially in the 30s, it was that the people were not allowed to have a chat in person. You know, more than two people, foreign people in your house, you was in trouble. You know, so because they accused you then to have a political organization or something. You know.
Yep, you might be talking about leadership. They might not like what you have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Billy, you're correct. Let's tie the hands of police so we have an excuse to bring in the military. Yep. Create the problem, offer the solution. You know, so, and that's what they'll do. That's exactly what they'll do. It just floors me that this is what we're relegated to now. We're left with now here it seems worrying about even posting a link out to information that we think people may need to know. It's crazy. Yeah, Casey, and I understand that. The only problem is what they're doing now with the treaty with the the United Health Organization through the UN, basically signing over everybody's country's sovereign rights to if there's another so-called pandemic or health emergency or whatever. And that's why, I've said this a lot on my panels lately, and I'll say it again. Call your politicians, email them. If you see them out having a speech, call them out, ask them, make them answer you. If they won't answer you, then make them look like an idiot for not answering you. Granted, I understand that they're not the ultimate power when it comes to this. That's pretty obvious by now. But in the same token, we need to shake their trees enough to let them know we're not going to tolerate this. Because the alternative isn't really an alternative. I don't want it to come to that any more than anybody else would.
Good night, Aussie. Have a good sleep.
Yep, take care, Aussie. Oh, I can't read that. What? I'm still trying to read it. I have a hard time reading. So basically, with what's going on now, and we don't know where YouTube's going to go, and I'm speaking just as YouTube at the moment, albeit it's already known that many other platforms are going to be doing the same thing. And I don't know if it becomes passed in law, it may be a requirement for all platforms. Then what do we do? We're not going to say we're just going to go over to Twitch or Rumble or Kick or whatever's left of Parler or Odyssey or anything like that.
Honestly, who knows if it's not already on all platforms, but they maybe let it go on the smaller ones because there's not that many people they reach. So who knows if it's not already implanted in all platforms, It's hard to say.
I just do know that we've become way too accustomed when it comes to censorship, even on this platform, like we're children now. Don't say the naughty words. Don't talk about the naughty things.
Yeah.
The truth is our truth, not yours, and you're not allowed to have it. So what do we do? Do we continue this way? Do we just hope that somebody else is going to change it for us? I don't think that's going to happen.
The thing is, they let them go coming away with that for too long already. I mean, the whole pandemic time has shown us that. That was the test ground for them. There's only one truth, because it was selected scientists who were allowed to speak, and everybody else was not a scientist or was a tinfoil head or whatever, And now they're doing it with all the other topics. If it's the woke shit, if it's the war, if it's the immigration or whatever you want to take, it's only one truth.
Very true. Very true, Uwe. There's only one truth, and unfortunately, that what they want it to be theirs, no matter whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
And I anybody that caught my last stream, I would hope understands how all these things are tied together and how important they are. We have to start speaking back. And Billy, you're correct. A large percentage of the population have and will comply, and that's our biggest problem. Correct.
But
it depends. Logic. If I'm gonna have somebody come up on the StreamYard, I want them to be very much to stay on topic of what we're talking about. That's why I've not posted the link. But if you want to come up and say something, As long as it's on topic, I will throw the link up. That's my only rule now. And I've had to do that because some people just don't want to stay on topic, and they have to. And beings that now that they're going to start censoring not just what's said in the videos, but what's on in the chats even. That's the stuff that I think people really need to realize, that even in the chat, censorship's going to hit there too. And I don't know if the channel owners are going to be hit with it, or if the person themselves, or both. I don't know. They don't define it. But if you want to come up, Logic, come on up. I'll give you a whirl, guy. Link has been posted. How you doing there, Pro Logic?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
What's going on?
Not
Charlie.
much. How you been, buddy? I'm glad to see you up here.
Yeah, I feel. I'm not sure what's going on.
So what's your thoughts on this?
It's crazy.
You're very low, Charlie.
Yeah, very low.
I'm not sure what's going on. Hold on a second. How come my avatar's not coming up?
Man, that's a while, Charlie, if you have talk. Holy crap.
Yeah,
Fucking long time, man. Holy shit.
Hold on a second. Let me see. See if this works. Is that better?
Yeah, that's way
definitely.
better, yeah.
Much better.
I'm going to try and stay on topic. So carry on, guys.
Well, let me ask you this, there, bud. You know, you've seen this stuff going on in your country, and beings like the piece I just put is the former Prime Minister of New Zealand. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, New Zealand is not part of Australia, to be honest.
Well, no, I
Even
know it's
though-
not. I know it's not.
Yeah, but it's scary.
It still hits pretty damn close to home.
Yeah. But as you know, we're part of the Commonwealth. So you got England, the British government, then you got Canada, Australia, New Zealand. So whatever happens in England is going to follow through to the smaller continents. We're only a small player in this global. You know, we're only 25 million in Australia.
Yeah.
And when probably the size of, let's face it, you got 52 states in US, and you got what, 300 million? We only got 25 million.
Yeah. But I don't
So
think that's going to make a difference when it comes to censorship.
I'm not sure.
I don't
I
think
think-
they're going to care if you got 5 people or 500.
Hey, Patriot. Yeah, you know, Charlie, you live in the state in Australia who probably got hit the worst. So
Yeah, correct.
you know what it means if you're not allowed to go anywhere or to meet your family or whatever, you know.
Two
You're just
years,
yeah, you know.
2 years,
and,
U of A. 2
and
years. We copped it pretty hard. And
Yeah,
do
I know you guys did.
and now they're gonna do the same shit digital. So if you talk on the phone, or if you text your family and talking about stuff like that, and they can sense you, or they can even read your messages and saying, wait a minute, you got to take care on this guy. So That's scary. That's scary as hell, man.
Absolutely, absolutely,
It's
and
insane.
it is insane. So you're saying that New Zealand government can actually access all your media, anything to do with digital,
No,
anything
no,
that.
no, 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 no.
No,
I'm not
no.
saying as of yet. That's with the stuff that's being tried to be pushed through, and
Mm,
with their former prime minister being hired on to these groups that are pushing this stuff. And if you look at the Restrict Act and stuff like that they're trying to pass here, it's that's essentially what they want to happen. Now, whether that's being implemented yet or not, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me one bit in the least.
so what's the population in New Zealand currently?
I really
I don't
couldn't tell
know.
you. I'd have to look it up.
I think they
Yeah,
don't have much more than 5 or 6 million, eh? I don't know, but I think
yeah.
they have
We'd
not
have to
many.
would have to be smaller than Australia. Australia's
Oh
got
yeah,
Oh
25,
yeah,
yeah,
they have
sure.
25,
way less.
25. Yeah. So
They have way less than
let's
half of Australia.
let's estimate. All right, so half of 25 is all right.
12.5.
Yeah, whatever. But they're a small continent, so and this is what makes me angry, guys. I'm going to stay on topic. I'm furious what our governments are doing to us.
Well, if you're furious about that, you didn't listen to my panel the other day, then, did you?
No, sorry, I apologize.
No, no,
I've
no.
been
You don't have
listening.
to, you don't have to apologize. But what I'm going to say to you,
Well, I'll revisit it. Which one was it? Like a few days ago?
no, just
Yeah,
the last one. Yeah,
Oh,
just a few
last
days
one.
ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Two
okay.
days ago, I think. Yeah, 2 days. Yeah.
I'll watch it. Sorry, Robert.
No, no, no. That's fine. I don't expect everybody to watch everything, guy. That'd be crazy. That's not
You
right
see,
for
I was
people.
right. About 5 million has New Zealand. I was right. So
Yeah.
that's a
There you
very
go.
small country, and
5 million. Five
yeah.
million.
I mean, it's a
Wow.
small country. It's not a big country. It's
Yeah,
whatever.
it's
It's
tiny.
it's maybe
It's tiny.
maybe the size of
Well,
Tasmania or whatever. It's not a big country.
yeah, you're pretty good with maths. We've got 5 billion on globally. Say what? 5 million is only point
No, we have more than
one percent. One
we have
percent.
almost 8 billion, I think.
Yeah, but
So
I'm saying if you look at China and India,
yeah.
you got 2 billion, whatever. You know what I mean?
By the way,
So
India overtakes
yeah,
China
correct.
now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But we got more Indians in Australia, believe it or not, than area you look, there's Indians. So and Chinese. But anyways, people
Well, but
predict things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
in that case, though, as I said, it doesn't really matter what your population level is. Um, what they're trying to do. Well, I shouldn't say what they're trying to. What they're doing. They're not trying to do it. They're doing it. Just as people were forced with the mandates and the lockdowns and all that stuff. Um, what's coming to this? People aren't going to have any options. You
All
know.
about control. Nothing else than control.
But just think about it, guys. I'm staying on topic here. Why would you want to target someone like India that's got 2 billion, where you can target a smaller continent that's got 5 million? It's a lot easier to police and control. So it's all
Well,
about control, like you said. I'm on
yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
but it
So
won't matter if everything you do in a day to day life. I mean,
correct, but
face it. Face it. We cannot. You can't function in this society in a lot of places anymore unless you're using the very systems that have been created. Could you function without a cell phone? Yeah, sure. Are you going to get much done? Probably not.
we're all being controlled in a sense.
Absolutely.
Um, you know, I'm not sure about you guys, but we need 10 points of ID to open up a bank account. It's just to stop all the fraud and shit like that.
Yep.
Sorry,
You
say
can't even buy a prepaid phone card here without signing up with your identity card, and then you have a mic like a video call with an office that
really?
proves that it's you. Otherwise, you won't get even a prepaid phone card. No.
Yeah. So look,
Um,
I'm 55. Anyway, carry on.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you got to say, Charlie.
I was saying when I was 18 years old when I first I didn't have a driver's license, but you needed a driver's license to open up a bank account when I was 18. So I'm not sure about
Wow.
your country. I'm not sure how's that work in your country.
No, we didn't need a driver's license. I think I think here you were able to have your own bank account with an age of 16. I'm thinking now it's down to 14.
Yeah.
Well, and the other rub to that is this, and I'll say this, even though it's kind of personal, but when I did my wife's taxes this year, we had to have a video call with somebody to verify for the government that she was who she said she was.
Yeah, what is that fucking shit all about? Are you kidding me? What is
Exactly. What
Yeah?
the hell is all that
Really?
shit about?
What's going on
what
there? What is
where
going
the
on?
fuck comes that from? What you have to prove for that? What is that
Yeah.
for?
Well, it's so they
Uh,
can verify you that you are you to the IRS and the government.
No, I
wow.
think it's more. I think
Well,
it's
I agree, Uwe. I agree that it's more. That's just a bullshit excuse.
So
exactly.
you talk
It's
about
all
you
about
talk
complying. That's what it's for. Complying.
see you virtually your wife had to put ring up what face call? How does it work?
Yeah, she had to be on video call with somebody from the government and she had to show. She actually had to send a picture of her driver's license, her social security card, and was there something else? There was something else, wasn't there? You had to have 3 forms, and then had to be on a video call with the person to verify
my driver's license and social security
that
card.
that was who she was, or she couldn't file her taxes. But yet, if you don't file your taxes, you get fucked.
you get a fine. What is the fine?
I don't know what the fine is for late filing
Yeah.
of taxes, but that's the point.
It's
It-
maybe it's
Yeah.
maybe a
Crazy.
maybe it's a stupid uh, thing, but at the end, it's like the forced jabs for the people in healthcare or whatever. You have to make your tax. You are it. You have to. It's a law, and then you have to fucking make a freaking video call to prove that it's you. I mean,
well, and the thing about
they,
that, Uwe, is we all know that all that stuff is getting databased.
yeah.
I guarantee you now that her face, her voice, and whatever biometric data they can get from that is in a database now.
Correct.
So
I think
wherever she
that's
goes or anything like that, that will be used.
yeah, that's scary.
That's bullshit.
That's unbelievable, really.
And
Absolute unbelievable.
but sorry, Mr. Robert. Oh, sorry, Mr. Tucker. Um, is this just new legislation, or has this been around for a few years?
I have no idea. It's the first time I've ever seen any shit like that, Charlie.
Yeah, me too. I never heard anything like that in my life. That's completely insane.
And the thing is, I don't think they're doing it to everybody yet. You know, it's one of those things, kind of like when YouTube makes changes to channels. I had stuff on my channel that other people didn't have for weeks yet.
So is the tax stuff is that based on the states, not on federal?
No, it's based on federal. But
Yeah, but why they treat everybody different then?
because they're
That's all
rolling
about.
it out slow, Uwe. It's just like anything else. They do it a little bit at a time till people become accustomed to it, and boom, there it goes. You're locked in now.
That's what I was trying to point out to you guys. You look at 5 million people in New Zealand. soft targets.
Yes, absolutely.
So
That's why they were able to move faster
they're
there.
they're gonna use the soft targets, and then the hard targets at last. So, but they slowly, 52 states in America. So I'm not sure where you are, but in the day, this is bullshit. It's BS. What they're
Well, and
doing to you
the
guys.
thing of it is, Charlie, it's what I'm trying to get across to people, and this is why I do 2 panels, and why I try to make sure that what I pick to talk about doesn't apply to just the United States. In that article I read, that's international. That's what they're going to try and do across the board to, from what I can tell, every Western country.
Yeah, I think you're on the money. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think they're just going to push the soft targets, and we're all going to cop it. We're all going to
You know,
probably
Billy.
have the same. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm just talking to somebody in
No,
chat.
no,
Go ahead.
no. You go. Yeah, you go ahead. It's your
One of
show.
our things here, though, Charlie, is securing papers and possessions. That's one of our Bill of Rights, and that right there just shits all over that. Um, you know, I mean, you look at what's been done in the last 3 years and how a lot of people accepted it, and it was no big deal. And that's why it behooves you to watch my last panel, and you'll understand why what I'm saying right now is so important. Um, the idea that people are supposed to blindly trust what our governments and politicians are doing is naive. But then again, to accept something and have to do it so you can work, so you can live, so you can travel, so you can visit your loved ones, all that shit. They use that against everybody. You know, and now it's coming to the point to where you're not even going to be able to have a conversation with your friends and family without somebody watching and making sure that you're not speaking badly of the government. Please. I won't say what I think, but I'm pretty sure everybody else is thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's happening, right, Mr. Tucker. It's gonna look. You go to ATM machines now. They're everything's Chinese or Indian. Just I don't
And
know.
I hate
I'm
to
not sure.
say this, Charlie,
It's crazy. It's
in
crazy,
your
man.
country, um, your ATM machines are going to be disappearing real soon
Yeah.
because
No. Yeah, you're right. Correct.
they're going to be going strictly to digital real soon over there.
Absolutely, and I've noticed since June 2019, a lot of banks have closed. They've shut down in suburbs.
Yep.
So what's that telling you? They'll prepare for this. I feel sorry, to be honest. I feel sorry for our future generation that are
Oh,
gonna.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
they are completely,
It, it,
screwed.
it scares me to death what my grandchildren are going to have to live with if we don't stop this shit.
correct. And the thing is, but this is, I think people were saying we need a revolution or some sort of fucking just
We need a
something.
paradigm shift, is
We
what
need
we
to
need.
fucking. I don't know, man. This can't go on for long. I mean, people power. What happened to people power? What's happened to
Well,
us?
and it's you know it's very simple. It's just like the the um, the magic potion and all the mandates. If everybody, or at least a substantial amount of people, would have said no, they'd have never been able to do what they did. Never, because there's no way they'd be able to enforce it. And this is why I said on my last panel, and the topic that it was about, and like I said, it behooves you to watch that. That if you know anybody in law enforcement or anybody in the military or any what was posted in that last panel. because it makes everything else we're talking about possible. It tells you exactly where their mindset is, and that our governments don't give one shit about the people. Not one.
No, they don't.
And that's proven now. And Uwe can attest to this, and anybody that saw my last panel can attest to this. They don't give two shits about us. None.
That shows you the other topic, what came out of this whistleblower in that court, and was shown on the South African channel. You know
Yep.
that that they don't care about anybody, not anybody at all. And now there just came an article out here from this journalist I follow, and our office, which is responsible for verifying vaccines and stuff like that, they said officially that these post-vac syndromes from the jabs are not based on the jab itself. It's based on the what it's called, immunologic effects.
Yeah, it's your own immune system going haywire.
So nobody is guilty on anything. If you have a bad immune system, such a freaking shot can hurt you, and nobody can know that because nobody knows your immune system. So this is the bullshit they get out, bring up in the public, you know.
Yep.
And people who are not willing to have conversations like we have, or getting information from other platforms and the mainstream media, they will never ever see and hear the real deal, like from Dr. Campbell or whatever you want to call it, you know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was like Mr. Tucker was mentioning, you can't post links anymore. So freedom of speech is gone now. You can't even post a link. It's crazy.
Freedom of speech has been gone for a while. It's just that people have been self-censoring, but now it comes down to that you can't even post links if they don't approve them.
Yeah, so YouTube's got too big for the boots, to be honest. Sorry, YouTube.
But it isn't just YouTube.
Yeah, it's going all over the world. It doesn't matter what, like you said. What do you say? Twitter.
Well, Twitter isn't affected as of yet, but if they pass these laws, these companies aren't going to have any choice. It's going to be a federal thing.
But what happened to Donald Trump regarding? Didn't he get banned from Twitter?
Yeah, he's back on there, but he don't use it. Same thing here with YouTube.
Yeah.
But you think about this, though. If they can ban a former president of the United States, they can ban anybody. Correct.
We're little ants, basically.
Yep.
We just little ants playing in the sandpit.
Yeah, we are just puppets on the chessboard. You know, that's what we are.
We're just slaves. Anyone that pays taxes, we're slaves.
Yeah.
And they dictate to us what goes on.
I mean, the tax system itself is the first biggest scam in the world, anyways. You know.
Yeah, we all know that.
So,
look, I was a little. Yeah, sorry, you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was gonna say when I was younger, a little bit naive, because when my first job working in retail, we had to sign up and get a tax file number. That's what the government wanted, and that stays with you for the rest of your life until you die. So I'm not sure whether they call that in Germany or United States or America.
Well, it'd be like a social security number for us. Same thing.
Yeah. So,
and that's a good point. What Billy says. Google owns YouTube, and Google has manipulated the search engine for years, and that's way before the pandemic even started. They manipulated the the search engine for topics they should not get on top or should be shadow banned at all. You have to use tricks to find those stuff in YouTube. If you in Google, if you don't use other search engines, you don't even find it. So that's another
That's
fact that's been there for years.
correct. Correct. I remember, was it, I think Google bought out YouTube 2016, or it might have been 18. We were talking about this on Zounds a few weeks ago. So it makes you wonder. You give these people so much power. They can
Yeah,
dictate.
and
Yeah.
they thrown billions around, like 10, 15, 20, 100 billion. They slow that around like it's freaking $50 for you. So it's
Correct. I've been around YouTube since 2013, and there was a lot of free speech back then. There was a lot of stuff that you would, but a lot of those platforms, I mean, those channels are all gone now because Google don't want you to see the truth, basically.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like September 11th, there's also so many videos, conspiracy theory or whatever, the moon landing, all those documents. It's all gone, guys.
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah.
You're talking about since you've been around about since 2013. Take a look at my main channel and the date on it.
This is your main channel, or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look.
You ain't got to look. I'll just tell you. It's August 27th, 2006.
Wow, you're an early bird, mate.
Yeah, not that I've done much with the channel, but I've been around YouTube for a very long time.
Man, that's like 2 decades, virtually. Close to 2026, that's 2 decades, basically.
Yeah. So
Until last year's convoy, I used
Yeah.
YouTube for tutorials or for watching the odd music video or whatever. But
yeah,
that was
same
only-
here, Uwe. I used to just use it for learning. I'd
Correct.
watch college courses and university courses, and watch a lot of physics stuff, things that I'm interested in. But now,
Yeah.
I've literally been forced into doing what I'm doing. I should be doing music. I shouldn't be doing political panels. I should be doing music.
Yeah, just do music then. Yes.
No. I don't have a choice, Charlie.
I
People have
know.
to know this, and
I-
we don't have enough people doing this stuff, speaking up. I guarantee
Yeah.
you that last panel, if you listen to it, Charlie, that
Yeah.
you've never heard of what you're going to hear on that panel.
Mate, I'm going to listen to it. Don't worry. I'll watch the whole thing. But I feel bad because I think YouTube was a great tool. Think of it as a tool.
in general, it is. In general, it is. I agree.
Where a tool where it's knowledge. Like, do you remember? It's like if you want to learn about something, woodcraft, how to whatever, how to learn how to cook, learn how to be a carpenter, plumber, builder. There's so many great creators.
Not only
out there.
that, it's a great business for many people too, who haven't like making news or making any kind of content, and they can make really big money with YouTube. No shit.
Yeah, but you
I
look
know.
at stuff that makes big money, Uwe, and it's all bullshit.
What was that?
If you look at any of the ones that are big YouTubers, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's not. It's not in general, Robert. It's not.
No,
It is now.
think about UV. Think about outside the square. YouTube is a learning. It's a learning tool. It's like research. But the guys that are making big money, it's just either drama or
Yeah, as
it's
I
crazy.
said,
Yeah, it's
If
good.
I want 1 million subscribers, I'll go outside and shoot bottle rockets out of my ass.
Correct. That's what Mr. Tucker's trying to say.
So let
You
me
know,
give you an example from one of the guys. He's a German. He makes 1 or 2 videos a day talking about political or anything else, but only facts. He proves it. He makes it in general. He makes like Dr. Campbell, but
yeah,
not in medical. He makes it in general political stuff and whatever, you know. And
yep,
he, since last year, he makes between 50 to 60 grand a year with
yep.
YouTube. He has about 160,000 subs, and he gets many clicks on his videos. And he would probably get even more if he would make it subtitled in English, or he would make it in German and English. But yeah, it is possible. And he has only got censored once. So one video they took him down, and one other they demonetized, so he couldn't make money with it. But in general, he has been quite safe with making the money. You know.
Well, then he must not have talked about many things that go against the narrative.
Oh yeah, he does. He does.
Oh, well,
But
good. I'm glad he's succeeding then.
the funny thing is, that's what Dr. Campbell does too. He talks against the narrative as well. But it is probably the way you do it. He didn't got hit that often as well. He got only hit twice, I think. 2 weeks ago, they had to take down that video from this Japanese girl.
Yep.
So, but in general, he's talking facts, and it's not talking pro narrative. But he
No,
doesn't get taken
I
down.
agree with you, Uwe. But what I'm saying is there's not enough um, general discussion about these topics.
No, because they sense it. Even when Dr. Campbell makes these interviews with other doctors or scientists, they don't speak really facts calling the real names. They talking around, you know. So like we do, we using code words, and they let's say they talk in the circle as well, you know. But that's all this sensing bullshit. And that will be getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, like I said, 2013, I found YouTube quite. What's the word I'm trying to look for? Knowledge. Yeah, you want to learn something. It's knowledge. If you just say you got a leak in roof, and you don't know how to do it, whatever. There's people that have actually shown you how to repair the roof, a
Yep.
gutter,
But in the
plumbing.
same token, though, I'd
Yeah.
come onto YouTube
Hmm.
to listen to independent journalists about what was going on.
Correct.
Because
And
even
you,
back in 2006, well, you know a little bit about my history and what I am, Charlotte.
yeah, I do a
You
little
know,
bit.
so
A little bit. No, I'm the. I've never met you in person, but I
well,
consider you
no,
as a friend.
you do know a little bit about me, and
Yeah,
I knew way back then that the news we were getting was bullshit.
yeah,
You know, so I would come onto here to get what I believe to be legitimate news, and now that's being thrown out the window.
yeah. And this is the whole discussion we're having right now. Right now is that we're being censored. You can't say things. Governments are going to shut down. Well, they're going to shut down the truth, basically.
Well, they
They
already
don't want
have.
to know. Yeah, it's been going on since Google bought out YouTube. There's been that's been shit changed. Now someone Google someone in the chat. When did Google actually buy out YouTube? That was a big change.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I could be wrong, but
But
I think
I
it's
was around doing the internet before Google was even around.
yeah,
You know, and their whole spiel when they first started was "do no evil,"
mm,
which is no longer their motto. They took that down because they do it all the time now.
yeah.
Uh,
But
you know,
so you've been around for a long time regarding the internet.
yep.
How many platforms have shut down
Oh,
because
lots.
there you go.
But the
And
thing
what's it?
was, it was never because of censorship. Um, you know, it was basic business 101. The best stuff survived. You know, um,
Yeah,
but what we have now is not competition.
No, that's definitely not.
yeah, correct. And that's what this is where YouTube's is got a lot of power
Oh,
regarding.
absolutely. Well, it's
There's
not
no
just YouTube. It's Google in itself has a lot of power. I
correct,
mean,
and but as you know, when you give someone too much power, what happens? What happens when you get someone too much
yeah,
power?
becomes corrupted just like anything else.
Yeah, correct.
But in the same token, it isn't just them. You know, it's already proven that, like in my case, my own government was working with social media to censor people. And now they want to codify it in law, and I'm sure that they're doing it. Well, I know they're doing it in Canada with Bill C-11. They have the Restrict Act here. I'm sure in your country they have other things, and I know in New Zealand theirs is pretty harsh, and I know in Germany stuff is pretty harsh, and England, um, you know, you can literally be arrested for something you say online
Yeah.
that should not be.
Okay. It was all of us three will stick to the same page. So what do you predict regarding New Zealand? What's going to happen there? What's your prediction?
I don't know. I wouldn't even begin to predict because I will tell you this: if people don't speak up and stand up against this stuff now, it isn't going to matter what country you live in. It's going to be everywhere. You know, I
I
mean,
consider, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's very hard to predict, but they're very a soft target. Let's face it. New
well, but
Zealand,
in the same token, I mean, you look at what happened down there where you're at,
yeah,
where they arrested that
exactly.
woman and threw her in a quarantine camp because she refused to get the magic potion, even
Do
though
you,
she wasn't sick.
do you remember that old lady that got trampled by the
Yep,
police?
absolutely.
Isn't it? Is that video still up or is it been cancelled?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Correct. There you go. It's easy to erase. It's like the media got this magic eraser. They can just get rid of that. No one's seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, and what cracks me up, it's just like what went on in Canada when they said, well, violent protesters, not the only violence I seen was from the government and the police themselves. You know, I mean,
And
everything
even
from shooting reporters with, well, they shot that one reporter with a gas canister, a legit reporter, mind you, and trampling that old woman and that man with them fucking horses.
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
inquiry, nobody brought any proof about violence in the protest. Nobody brought
No,
any proof.
no, absolutely not.
Hmm.
They certainly
They,
had
they,
enough that
they,
countered that, though, didn't they?
yeah, they had enough email proofs and all that shit about who said this and who said that. But there was no proof, no video footage at all, nothing about any violence by any protester. Because there was nothing. And maybe there was the odd one knocking down another protester because they were drunken, whatever. Yeah, that's a different story. But there was no violence against the cops. No way.
Well,
Yeah,
it's nothing like
Hey,
you see.
Zero.
it
It's
makes you
nothing
wonder.
like you see what's going on with Antifa or BLM or anything like that, where they literally took over parts of cities and burnt shit down and murdered people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
No, it don't make me wonder at all. It's just like I was talking with Uvi offline from this. It's like
Hmm.
any other country that got switched, that lost their people, lost their freedom. China with Maoism. You look at Russia when the Bolsheviks took over. You look at Germany when the Nazis took over.
Yeah. All the same.
All the same place, same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's happening. It's happening in our country as well. What you
Yeah,
got? What like I'll give you an example. You represent the United States. UA represents Germany. I'll represent Australia. But I know nothing about this bullshit.
Charlie,
BS. The BS they're
do
pushing us.
do you seriously believe that after all that shit Andrews made with you in Victoria, that he got
Yeah,
elected another time? Do you seriously believe
correct,
that shit?
correct. I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. I think that was rigged. UA.
easy. That
Yeah,
can get me pinched.
be careful. Be careful what you say.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that is one of the things
Yeah,
that you're not even allowed to speak your opinion when it comes to that because it can
yeah.
get you pinched.
Yeah, crazy. See,
Exactly.
That
You can't
that's
speak
fucking
your mind.
sick. That's sick.
freedom, freedom of speech. Sorry, guys. That's
No.
my
You're
yeah.
fine, Charlie.
That's my
That's why
opinion.
I'm
That's my
having
opinion.
these panels
But
because somebody
I
has
can't.
to.
But I can't show any proof because everything's been swept under the carpet,
Exactly.
so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's sick. It's absolutely sick. And there's nothing you can even do. You can go to other platform until they starting that same stuff there. If they grown up too big, I'm pretty sure they leave other platforms alone because they are by far not on the members and users like YouTube is, and that's probably one reason why they can speak on other platforms a little bit more free.
Well, look what
But
they did to Parlor when Parlor started to gain traction. They just shut their
who
servers off. Totally
who
crushed them.
who, who was that?
Parlor. I don't know if you remember Parlor or not, but Parlor was gaining major amounts of traction before the 2016 stuff. And they just shut their servers off, killed the whole platform. And
No,
they
I
never
can't
did
remember that.
recover from that. Never did recover from it.
Hmm.
So, and as I said, I could be doing other things, but we have to talk about these things, and it has to be brought in front of people because if we don't, we might as well hang it up. We're done.
Yeah,
Yeah. But the thing is, at least you got a voice and you got a channel, Mister Tucker. Sorry.
Well, I'm gaining
And
every day, Charlie.
but in the day, don't give up. I mean,
Oh, I absolutely won't. I never will.
in the United States of America, I thought was it the see your Second Amendment is bear arms, the First Amendment or freedom of speech.
Correct?
So you virtually everything that you fought for is going to be virtually gone if people don't stand up for their rights.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's sad in a way that, but we're going to all face it. This orangutan is a representative of being in prison. See my avatar
Yeah,
being
for sure.
caged.
Yep.
Someone that's been caged. See that fist?
Yeah, that's what they start.
So that
That's they.
fist, see that fist, that fist should be planted.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're
I bet.
saying.
I better shut up. I better shut up. Fuck.
Raven, if you're just coming in, um, yeah, and that's the whole thing about this panel and what I talked about earlier in this panel. But now it's not just the content creators or the videos themselves. They're going to be censoring in the chats as well. And links that they deem aren't approved are going to remove. And I don't know if they're going to ding the channel owners or if they're going to ding the person who posted or what they're going to do. But that's the next thing. And that is this I can post because it's YouTube's policies themselves right from Google. So I can post this link. Thankfully, at least I can do that. So if you want to go read that and try and make heads or tails of it, right there's the link for YouTube's new policy that nobody seemed to know about.
So when was this broadcasted?
It
Just
just
recently?
it just got changed not too long ago, unbeknownst to any of the content creators,
Wow.
even myself. So
Well, at
if you
least
want to read that, that'll tell you a lot about what's going on at YouTube. But pay very close attention to the vagary of it.
I will.
You know,
I'll
they
have to have a look.
basically leave it open for them to do as they wish and interpret things as they wish.
Have they actually got a YouTube channel that telling you?
No,
No. Okay.
no. You got to go read that. That's their posting
Yeah.
policies.
All right.
Um,
Okay. Fair enough. That's okay. I can't do it now because I'm on StreamYards. But how long you gonna be around for another half an hour, 15 minutes?
I'm going to be shutting down here shortly. I don't run these panels very long just because of it gets mundane for people to come back and listen to it. And I do have a lot of people that do actually listen to these after the fact. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it
no probs. No probs at all.
no, that's why I run them the way I do, Charlie.
I thought I haven't been on the panel for ages, so I thought I'd just hit the
Well,
link.
you well, now you know what's going on, and I'll be doing more of these in the future. And much, I actually have people behind me now pushing me to do legit stuff. So,
Yeah. You're a good man, Mr. Tucker.
well, thank you. So are you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Um,
So UA as well. See, UA, I met you guys through Global,
yep.
and there's so many nice people that I met in too many to mention, to be honest. People
Yep.
come and go, but
Yeah. I mean, I left a bunch of people behind, but I know I did when I said no. I don't go to this, whatever you want to call it, war or trash talk channels or whatever.
yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
and always when I always lurk in zones, the main topic in there is still Thailand, Philippines, Asia, whatever.
Yeah,
So I'm not
it's
into that stuff. And then always comes discussions with other old rivals from back from the days, and I don't need that shit. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
lurk in
yeah.
there sometimes, but I don't even say a word because after 5 minutes I'm gone anyway. So
The problem is you say hello. You're gonna spend the next 2 hours saying hello to everyone. I know what you say now, Yui.
Well, hold on a second. TPR, you may think that to be reasonable. I do not. because there's no description as to what they deem as acceptable or unacceptable. I'll do just fine censoring my own stuff. I don't need my Google Daddy to do it for me. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. You made me laugh then.
Well, that's the
But,
truth. I'm an
yeah.
adult. I'll make my own damn choices. I don't need a corporation to do it for me.
You know what's really cool about none of us have met in person. We've probably never met in person, to be honest, because we live so far away. But at least we can have a cordial conversation regarding what's happening. What,
Well,
mate, you know what I'm
this,
saying?
yeah, it affects us all, Charlie. That's why I try. Well, I've been asked to hold two panels. I've been asked to hold one in the morning and one in the evening,
Yeah.
because of different time zones. And the only reason I
Yeah.
do is because of people in other countries. I can't just focus on my own because it doesn't affect just my own. It affects everybody.
Yeah, but also, you got real life to live too. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
regarding work, family, and health, or whatever. Like I was, I was missing for a week, and I get along with a lot of guys. I don't hate anyone, but you know some of the
Sometimes you just need
things.
a break.
Yeah, but like Yui just mentioned something before, just recently. It's true, Yui. It's rinse and repeat with some characters.
Yeah,
It's like
for sure, for sure.
but everyone likes to see a train wreck. Let's face it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that seems to be the going thing nowadays.
Yeah,
Um, and that's why I'll continue to do these,
yeah.
even though it is a pain in the ass at times. I'll tell you, because there's sometimes I catch holy hell from it, to the point that I've literally had somebody give me a death threat over this shit.
Well, don't. Yeah. They're They're knuckleheads. Don't worry about
Well, for
that,
sure.
mate. What? Look, in the day, I've only met you through Global, but you're sort of guy that you're tough but fair. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
Yeah.
Johnny CM. Johnny CM is similar, and a lot of characters out there that are the same, similar. But when it comes to rinse and repeat, and Yui mentioned something. There's war channels. Like, get out of here. It's just rinse and repeat every day, and I've seen
I,
them. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, Charlie,
Yeah,
and all this shit is by design, and they all agree to that shit. They all like it. Doesn't matter which one you take, they all like
Well,
that shit, and
let's not talk about other channels, guys.
so that's the
no,
problem.
not mentioning
Um,
names. We're not mentioning names. I'm just saying rinse and repeat channels. The rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
it
one
is.
sec, guys. One sec. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, we'll keep it clean. Stay on focus. Stay focused. Yui. But yeah, I do look now and then, and I say, "What
Uh,
doesn't change?"
Raven, it is, for some people, it is about monetization. For me, it's not, because I'm not, and I don't really care to be. Um, but I do know that they've hit a few people who were monetized, under some of these new guidelines, and boom, no longer monetized. They lose all their people who join their channel and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah,
Um,
if you are monetized, then it's even easier for them to hit you.
Yeah,
Then they play even worse with you if you monetize.
correct, Yui. Uve. But Mister Tucker, he's not interested in making money out of this.
No,
YouTube.
absolutely not. If I said I was
Yeah,
interested in making money, I would be going out shooting bottle rockets out of my ass, like I said.
correct. So
You know.
it doesn't matter if you got 10 subs. To be honest, I know you're
Well,
just a
I'll tell you
voice.
right now, it would make me happier than shit if I had 100,000 people listening to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Do I think it will happen? No, because most people can't or won't listen to news and political talk. But it affects us all, and it has to be done.
Yeah, no, it's great, and thank you so much for letting me on the panel, Mr.
No
Tucker.
problem. No problem. I mean, as I said, I've had to start limiting stuff just because, one, I know just by the very nature of what I'm doing. I mean,
Censorship. People are
oh, for
watching
sure. I
us.
mean, I'm already on
Yeah,
one strike again for my panels for just
really?
talking about this. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hell, this is my first go around.
What?
Hell,
What?
2 months ago, I damn near lost my channel.
Hold on. 3 strikes and you're out. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
you're on strike one.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on he was on 2 strikes, and then once in a sudden they took them away for whatever
Yeah,
reason they took them down, and now
I think.
he got 1 strike again.
Yeah, I think how it works. I think you got to wait 12 months, and that strike goes away.
Three
Oh,
months.
something.
No,
Oh,
3 months.
3 months. Oh, 3
Yeah.
months. Yeah.
yeah, but that 3 months was not over when they
No, the
took
3 months wasn't over.
Robert.
Oh,
No,
No.
okay. Okay.
But the thing of it is, though, Charlie, I've already been in this position before, and this time I'm going to approach it a little differently. I want to keep getting the information out there, which is why I said I have to limit who have on if they're not capable, or I feel they're not capable of not saying something that's going to get me hit. Then
Correct.
I can't allow it because I
I,
want to be able to keep doing what I'm doing.
hey Salty,
hopefully you're not going to hit me having me on the panel.
No, you haven't. That's why I stopped you when you were starting to say what you were going to say.
Yeah, easy. The I
Well, but that's
gotcha.
the thing that they'll use the dumbest of stuff. You're not supposed to have an opinion on something, I guess.
I know. I know.
There's
I
ways of
know.
saying that without saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, easy what you're saying.
And I hate to do that because we shouldn't have to self censor ourselves. That's bullshit.
Yeah, but
yeah,
You
having
know.
having a strike under your belt, yeah, you got to be
and it's
careful. You got to
just
be cautious. Cautious, I should
it's
say.
just human that you accidentally say something that you would not say, because even if you play this freaking role, you forget sometimes, and you
Oh
talk
no,
free, you know.
you should come up with some code words, maybe
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
code
I
should we,
agree
we,
with
we,
you.
we should we should have we should have an automatic robot that translates the words you say in a different way, you know.
You're right. You're fucking spot on. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm laughing, but it's true. Code words. We need to come up with some code words, Mr. Tucker. So
Absolute crazy.
it is. But then
Yeah.
the new people wouldn't have a clue what we're talking about.
Well, but here's the real rub, though, Charlie. I can go onto YouTube and watch naked yoga, literally
Correct.
naked yoga,
Correct.
Yeah,
but I can't talk about an election. I can't talk about a medical intervention. I can't talk about my opinions of how said things were handled. Give me a frickin' break.
It's BS. That's a
Well, but
code
that
word.
shows you the absurdity of this.
BS. It's BS. All right, that's code word for something else, as you know.
yeah.
You
It's
know,
seriously, that's insane.
but that's the reason why I still hold these panels because there's not many people doing it. It's all bullshit stuff. You know, I mean,
MacGyver runs a good channel.
yeah, but it gets a little nuts over there too.
Yeah, well, it does
Yeah.
get nuts. It does get nuts. It
You
goes.
know, they. I honestly, there's
It's
Okay.
many
funny.
people I like, but it's getting too crazy there, way too often as well.
Yeah, but
You know.
Mac. Oh, I don't know. I think he's into. Look, I'll get along with a lot of guys, but yeah,
Yeah, me
what
too, me too. But
but but what Mr. Tucker just mentioned, certain channels can get away with murder regarding naked yoga, for argument's sakes, all right?
yeah,
But when it comes to politics or whatever, no more freedom of speech. Bang, you're
Well,
gone. You're
look at
gone.
how long it took them to take down. What was it? What was it called? "Touching is Nice" song. Uwe, you remember that?
no, that was the Tinky Winky song. You mean this let's say absolute disgusting bullshit we were all reporting?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the Tinky Winky song. I think it was called.
Yeah. They'll allow that crap to stand. It had millions of views. Millions.
I think more than 10 million. More than 10 million clicks that video had. I think so.
And absolutely disgusting. It targeted towards kids.
Yeah,
You know, so it's crazy. But yet you can't talk about, well, as it seems, if the stuff passes here and it passes in Canada, and I assume they have other stuff in Australia and other Western countries in the works, that you're not going to be able to, if you caught the intro to this, you're not going to be able to talk about your politicians badly. You can't disagree with them and shit like that. Well, excuse me? Oh, hell no.
Well, Mr. Tucker, what are you allowed to talk about? You're allowed to talk about the future generation regarding your country. You should be proud. You should be proud living in United States of America.
you are allowed to talk about all the shit they propaganda. If you are pro all these Vogue and LGBTQ bullshit, and
You're fine. No
then you are
problem.
fine. You
No
can talk
problem.
everything you want.
Wow. Crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy stuff. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Um,
So what do you predict? What's the future for United States of America as you see it? No, this is your own personal opinion, God. Someone that
well,
lives there.
I really, I hope, Charlie, not just for my country, but for everybody, that more and more people finally start rattling their politicians' cages, so to speak. Make them understand that we are not going to accept this stuff because there's only one alternative, and I don't have to say what that is. We all know what it is.
That's a good point. You know what? People, you hear what he said? Doesn't matter where you live. Stand up
Speak up.
and speak up and
You know, it may be
and
something as
make
simple as making a phone call, and it's not that hard to do.
talk
I
to
mean, my wife's
friends.
sitting here; she can attest to it. I talked to my representative on the phone for 45 minutes while I was chewing his ass, literally, and she can attest to that. I didn't pull no punches. I was chewing on his ass, upright, left, center, whatever.
Guys, did you hear what he said? Stand up for your rights.
Because if you don't, you won't have any.
Correct.
He wants to know, what did you say to them?
No, it makes totally logically sense.
Yeah, it's the
But
worst part is all the ignorance. People who realize that there's something going wrong, but the ignorance because they didn't got affected yet
Let
hard
me let
enough.
me let me address something here, Uwe. Raven King. the something as simple as calling up and saying, "Hey, I don't agree with this bill or this or that. I don't agree with mandates. I don't agree with whatever that's being put out." And um, believe it or not, that does have an impact. If only a few people do it, they'll ignore it. But if 10,000 or 100,000 people do it, you can bet that they're going to pay attention because most of these politicians want to keep their jobs, you know. And if they're out speaking publicly, ask them. A lot of people are afraid to ask the questions to them. I'm not afraid to ask them.
Keep up the good work, Mr. Tucker. That's all I'm going to say. And you're good. You know what? You're a good role model.
Well, I don't really,
No, you are,
you know,
man. You
I
don't
don't
realize.
pretend to be anything other than what I am.
You
You
don't
know.
realize. You know what? I'm privileged to even meet you.
Well, I
Not in
appreciate that,
person.
Charlie, and I feel the same way. Everybody that comes in here or comes into my chat or comes onto my panels or even listens to what I have to say, I'm privileged to have that happen.
Yeah.
You know,
And
they
you,
don't have to.
correct. And you
Uh,
realize it's been a good panel. No over talking, no yelling, no
well, that's
screaming.
what that's what my intentions are with this. You know, it isn't. I'm not here to talk about people's petty issues or things like that. I'm talking about things that affect us all in real life. You know.
Yeah. Just keep up the good work. That's all I can say.
Oh well, I appreciate it, man. I really do.
And if you want to, shut it down, you're the boss, mate. So
Well, yeah, and I will when I feel it's about time to do that. We're still having decent discussion, so I'll keep it continued.
yeah,
Um, you know, but the thing it is, Charlie, what I try to get the people to realize, and hence why I hold two panels, is it isn't just the United States, it isn't just Canada, it isn't just Australia, it isn't just New Zealand or Germany or the UK, or hell, it isn't even just Thailand. If we want to take that back to zounds, it isn't even just there. It's everywhere.
yeah.
We're all
Well,
affected by these things.
Zounds actually was a part of global. And you notice what has happened? When global sort of broke up, all these different factors come. You're part of it too,
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
a lot of some of the original guys were going to Southeast Asia, either been there, lived there, or travelled there.
Yeah,
So it was more like a place where I don't know what's the word I'm looking for newbies to
yeah, kinda.
yeah, but it become a little bit crazy too.
It became a little bit toxic.
Yeah, it was just a train wreck as well. People would just love train wrecks,
Yep.
but but you're more sensible. You don't take no. There's no BS with you.
Well,
So
there can't be for what I'm doing, Charlie. That's why I don't do this on Zounds because Zounds does other things, which is fine. That's Zounds. Just as other, just like Mac does his channel, the way he does his, and this one for me is the way I do mine. You know, um,
Exactly.
when people come here, they know what I expect.
but you know
Um,
what? You got a good panel member. I just thought I'd come on just to
but,
show some respect.
well,
But
no, and I appreciate that, Charlie. I really do. You
but
know, you live in a different country, but you still live in this world, and you have an opinion and a voice.
yeah, and
And you're
but
sensible
well, I must admit, I totally agree. Um, it's global. We are all affected. Like
for sure.
our governments are going to censor us. What they want ID now. They want face. to even to lodge a tax form. They want some representative to. It's crazy what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
FaceTime.
sure.
So
I
this is the
respect
new.
I respect basically every channel. And if there is content or if there is any people I don't like, I stay away. That's simple.
Yeah,
That's my way to deal with this stuff.
but
So,
but
but
this
not
but this
everybody does it. Some people come in channels. They don't even have to say anything. They just come in there for causing any bullshit or talking any trash shit. So,
yeah,
and
you're a good co-host, to be honest. Like you guys.
no, no,
No,
but
no,
no.
no. What do you mean, no? Yes, you
Not
are.
on not on those channels. I would not.
No,
I would
I'm
be the
saying that
worst. I
on.
would be the worst co-host you can have on a
No,
channel
I'm
like
talking
yours.
about this channel. I'm talking about this channel. This
Ah,
channel.
Robert don't need it. Robert don't need a co-host. He's
Because
not doing it 24/7 or
no,
whatever.
because you're the same. You're the same. You don't tolerate BS. You don't tolerate that crap.
No, because there is no reason for to deal with shit like you wouldn't be deal with that in real life, and you wouldn't deal with it in the digital world.
But we
Why?
can. I've learned from you guys. I mean, I've just learned something today regarding what's happening in New Zealand.
I am co-host on another channel, but that channel is absolutely without any political and without any bullshit. We have
Yeah,
we're listening to music, we're playing some games, we're having some laughters, we're having fun, but not that somebody start any trash talk and getting personal after 5 minutes because the other one had better argument.
okay,
So
I'll give you an example. What was I doing before YouTube? Living life, right? But
Oh, absolutely.
YouTube. So the fact is, I use YouTube as a tool to learn from other people like yourself, Robert and Uwe.
Well,
So
yeah,
this is the way I look at it, Charlie. Being the nature of the last 3 years of what's went on, and you know what I'm referring to.
yeah,
This is the place where people meet to have, in my case, real discussion. Now, there's places that, as zounds, it's like your local bar or pub, which is fine, and then other places that are like an absolute zoo, or whatever they want to do, and that's fine because people can move around, find what they want to do, and that's great. But like in
yeah,
my case, as I said, I do intend on doing more in the future, as my health allows. Um, Unfortunately, my eyesight at the moment is stopping me from doing a lot of things. Um, but that's not always going to be the case. But in the same token, um, when people leave here or come here, I hope it's giving them some insight, and I hope it gets them to think a little bit more about the world they live in and what they want it to be in the future. Because
yeah,
without that, we're not going to have all these other things. We're not going to
yeah,
have the channels where we can go and shit talk and party or play games or do whatever. We're not going
yeah.
to have it. Or we're there's a lot of things that come into play there. I guess I don't want to get too far off base there, but you know
But
everything serves a purpose.
I see
oh,
it that way.
you know
Everybody
what?
should be awake, but the worst thing from my opinion, is
Mm,
the young parents. They have children in kindergarten or in preschool or in school, and seeing what's going on, and sitting there, even if they don't comply, if they don't say no, they comply, and they let it happen. That they get educated. That a man can give birth, and we have 600 genders and all that shit. And if you let that happen, you are guilty with not doing anything. You are guilty, in my opinion.
Well, imagine a world where what we're seeing now is just starting, but imagine a world where in the public you can't even speak your mind. And we're literally living in that world now.
Correct.
Yeah, we are very, very, very close to that.
Yeah.
In public, let's say, in public, in a certain way, it depends. If I go in those topics, I try to like to test out if what kind of person is that. Can I talk about stuff like that, or do I better not? Because first of all, I don't deal with anybody who says me, look how great it is here. What everybody is complaining about. We are so rich. It's all fine. Or somebody who says, I don't care. I don't deal with people like that anymore. I don't have the nerves to talk about certain topics like this if somebody is completely ignorant and not even listening and seeing what's going on.
Well, to be honest, guys, um, Mr. Tucker actually is actually an educational channel. We I know nothing about politics. I'm not an expert. No, far from it. If you want to talk about hydraulics or mechanical or electrical, I could assist you. I could help you solve your problems. But in the day, um, life's is short, as you know.
Oh, absolutely.
But Mr. Tucker's got a voice, and thank you. I wasn't aware about New Zealand, what they're predicting to what's going to happen there. But
That is
I
nothing.
think
That has nothing to do with New Zealand. It is
no,
No,
but it's just
the previous prime
no, but
minister is
it's
involved. So that's
yeah,
happening all over the world, not only in New Zealand. That's
yeah,
the thing.
but I'm just trying to stay on topic,
no, no, no,
right?
no, no, no. That is topic there, Charlie.
That's right. It's topic. It's happening all over the world, and that's what I said. My opinion is they're using New Zealand as a soft target, and you just mentioned an hour
No,
ago, no, 2 hours ago, you said that New Zealand's 5 million people. Small,
why she is in that article is because New Zealand started this stuff based on that massacre, whatever, 7 or 6 years ago, when they killed
yeah,
Yep.
52 people in that church.
yeah. That's
That's
right.
that's when New Zealand started all this doing.
Yeah, but do you realize? Yeah. So they're going to no more guns in New Zealand. You're saying?
Well, but
Yeah, they
it's
do
it's,
the
it's not just about that. Is she is being put in the position where she's going to be able to influence world censorship, not just any one country's. And being that she is pro censorship, very much so. And in the cases of like what you were speaking of and alluding to, pro limitation of rights, in my opinion. Well, I shouldn't say my opinion. It's codified into our rights here into this country. I don't know about the rest of the countries, but mine it is. 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
I had to
I
drink
don't.
some water.
No,
Um,
it's all good.
it,
Um,
but she's being put in that position because she is pro all those things, and it seems that she's very adept at influencing people for pro censorship. Um,
okay. So this is going to affect the world. What would happen to United States of America when they get rid of the Second Amendment? In your
well,
opi- in your opinion,
all I can say is good luck with that. It ain't going to happen.
there you
Um,
go.
but
Revolution.
well,
You
easy,
reckon?
easy, easy. That can mean many things.
Easy. Yeah. Sorry.
nah,
Um,
they will not even try it because it is impossible to get rid of the guns in the US. It's
I,
impossible.
I
Easy.
used to
Easy.
think that, Uwe. I
Easy.
used to think that, but I'll tell you what. It seems more and more and more that people are rolling over. And that's what happened in many other countries.
Yeah, but how they will do that? Will they go in every house and check for
I
guns?
you know, I don't know, Uwe. I can't even predict that. That's like asking me to predict what the lottery numbers are tomorrow.
Oh, I, I like to predict something. I think America, if I was the president of America, I'll be worried about my backyard regarding other countries.
Well, and I'm kind of pro that
No,
way
no, I
for
mean,
every country. Every
that's
country
right.
should worry about
About
their
their own
people.
country. Correct.
You know,
And that's where American president has failed. So anyway, that's
But
my opinion. All
let's
right,
face it,
easy.
the
Shut up.
American the American the American politicians haven't take care on their own citizens since the 60s or 50s when they started going in all other
Easy,
countries. No,
easy,
that's a fact we can talk about.
Yui,
I mean,
easy. Take it
they
easy
uh,
there.
they
I
they
love
they,
it.
As much as I would love to listen to this guy.
they
Oh
went
gosh.
in they went in every possible country where they had to get any benefit of.
Well,
So
Yeah,
in the day, let's face it, governments, if they rely on taxpayers, if the citizen,
exactly.
if yeah,
but
if
that's what most people don't understand. That
yeah, say
they need us, not we need
correct,
them.
correct, Uwe. So if no one paid taxes, the government there would be no more governments.
Yeah, that's
Think about it this way: no one worked anymore.
yeah,
It's how the
yeah.
hell how can you how you pro how can the government make 400 million or whatever
That
a
would be
year?
the easiest way to stop all that shit if everybody would stop working tomorrow. It would not even take a week,
Correct,
and everything would change. I guarantee you that.
correct. So
Yeah, for
if
sure.
everyone says um easy, what did I say? People stop paying taxes. Governments
That's what they
wouldn't
call.
be.
That's what they call a. What they
You
call a
start.
general. That's what they call a general strike, and that's against our laws here. It's not allowed.
Say I'm gonna go to prison if I stop
Yeah,
paying
yeah.
taxes.
You go to prison. Yeah.
All right. Say, but who's gonna pay for my food? Prison.
But
You're under the assumption they give a shit about that there,
yeah,
Charlie.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying. I didn't pay taxes because I'm not working. I refuse to work for the government. I'm going to go to jail, correct?
No, it'd be more
Yeah, you
like if you
see.
have a job and you decide to say you're going to protest with people and they're going to have a general strike like they've done in other countries, then they would start arresting people. And unfortunately, I don't understand how people could allow that to even be codified into law, but I don't live in those countries. Raven King, you're absolutely correct. There are good things happening. One thing at a time. I see it myself. Even just doing this stuff, um, it it
Yeah,
is the pendulum will swing. It
it's
always
baby
does.
steps. It's baby steps. But at least Mr.
Well,
Tucker's got a voice. He's got a voice. He's got his own. I'm here as a guest.
What you mean, Raven? 5.5 more years. What you talking about? 5.5
I'm,
more years.
I'm not
You
sure.
don't. You are not talking about that he gonna go another 4 years in next year. You don't talk about that, don't you? I mean, that would be fucking insane. So uh, if that would happen, oh my fucking lord, oh my lord, no way.
I was talking to a few friends of mine just on the weekend, and do you realize all of us are slaves? If you're paying taxes, you'll be
oh,
slaves.
absolutely.
So
But we've allowed ourselves to become that, though, Charlie.
there's no discrimination. Doesn't matter if you're white, yellow, green, black, brown.
No,
Don't dare! How dare!
Doesn't matter.
How dare you? How dare you use? How dare you say black, man? That's unpolitical.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean. No, I meant to say
Did
grey.
you
I meant to say
just
grey.
misgender me, Charlie? Did
I
you
meant to say.
misgender me? Did you
Yeah.
assume my gender?
But I'm saying we're all fuckers. We're slaves. We're slaves. If you pay your taxes, you're slaves
I
to the
won't even.
society.
I won't even
Because
tell you what gender I have today. I don't even tell you.
I
Get out of
identify
here.
as an asshole. You got a raspberry coming your way here real soon.
Yeah. It's so
No.
insane, man.
It's crazy.
It's absolute insane.
Hey, but
Seriously.
in the day, we all bleed red, yeah. So
Absolutely.
call me a redneck.
Yeah. I would.
Oh.
You'd fit in over here just fine, Charlie.
So
They might say that guy's had too much to drink. He talks too damn funny. I said, nah, it's just normal for him. But that's the thing is,
yeah,
everything that's been used to divide us and make people think otherwise. It's like it's like Uwe. He made a comment a while back about it. It's almost like he can't be proud to be German because of past shit, and that's bullshit. That's just like somebody telling you can't be proud Australian or I can't be a proud American. We aren't our government. These panels prove that. The people are not their governments. Most of us disagree with many of the things our governments do. And unfortunately, they've went batshit off the rails, it seems. So we're at the point to where we have to figure out how to take back control of our governments, put it back in the hands of the people.
yeah, that's a good point. End of the day, you don't know much about me, but I was born in Australia. Proud to be Australian, but I got a lot of European background. So,
Well, it doesn't really matter, though.
Yeah,
Charlie. That's what I was trying to get the point across. Is it doesn't matter. The ideas that different nationalities, different races, different whatever are supposed to be held in a context to keep us from having, shall we say, parallel thoughts about how things are being run in this world, is bullshit. Most of us just want to live our lives, live a decent life, raise our children, raise our families if we have them, and not have to deal with crap. But unfortunately, we don't live in those times anymore. We got crap to deal with. Ignoring it is not an option anymore, as much as many people would like to. And there's been things that have went on that's going to turn around and bite people in the ass in the future, because of that. My only hope is that people like myself and yourself and Uwe and many people here in the chat, whether I agree with them or disagree with them, it becomes irrelevant. As long as we all have the same ideas that we should be able to speak our mind and have honest conversations. Because how do you solve problems if you can't have honest conversations? It's impossible. And the only other alternative is we are dictated to like we're children. And that's where in this case, that's where censorship comes into play.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't want to solve problems because they don't see any problems. That's the thing. They are.
Yeah. But you raise a good point. The last 4 days, I've been helping out a friend of mine that's collecting firewood because we're coming into winter time. And I was talking to the guys and said, you know what, guys, we should be planting, vegetables because it's so expensive. Food absolutely crazy in Australia.
Yeah,
What?
it's the same everywhere.
So what are you paying for tomatoes? Basic tomato.
I couldn't tell you. My wife does the shopping. I get too pissed off when I do it.
Oh man, come on. We're paying $10 Australian dollars,
For a
which
kilo?
is
You gotta be kidding me.
no shit, man. So I thought, you know what, we should be growing our own tomatoes. We got the land
You
here.
you pay $10 for a kilo tomatoes? Holy fuck.
Potatoes are $5 a kilo, up to $7 a kilo. Depends on the varieties. You got the Pontiacs, whatever. The if they're washed, food prices are going up through the roof. But the thing is, it's all driven by the diesel fuel transportation. Let's face it.
Well, it's also driven by how they're taxing farmers now. How they're
Yeah,
like
correct.
making them jump through a bazillion hoops. I mean, we've all seen the protests with the farmers in different countries. We're seeing what they're trying to do to them.
Did you see the protesters? Did you see what they did in Holland? The protesters in Holland?
No, I have not.
Crazy. Oh man.
But
You
have you
be
heard have you heard about that they want to force the Amish now to use chemical let's say produced food and seeds for their plants? Have you heard about that? That they
nah,
that
no.
I mean, if you want to have anything organic, I think you can't get better organic stuff than from the Amish, you know. But if they
You
get
know what? Yeah, Amish people might laugh at them, but they've got the community set up right.
yeah
Yeah, but they're
It's all
going
about
after them now too.
yeah they're going
how
after
how
them.
how are they going to go? How are they going to go there? They can't
Um,
tax the the horses
no, 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 no.
and
What they're doing is making it illegal for them to sell their produce and their goods.
oh
Yeah,
really?
Yes,
How are they going to do that?
uh,
Police? They're going to have
very
a police
easily. They're already
officer.
doing it.
They're going to have a police officer.
If I had the link right handy, I'd show it to you. They're already doing it.
Say because the Amish work on barter. I'll give you free
Right. But
apples
see,
to.
what? Let me ask you this: what happens when we
Mm,
go to a digital currency?
that's what's going to happen.
Do
Everything's
you
going to
think an
be.
Amish person's going to be able to accept a digital
No, they
a
won't.
card? No.
What do you think they're doing this? What do you think this whole agenda is?
To
Is
control every aspect of our economics and our lives. That's the whole. That boils down to the whole idea of a 15-minute city. They want people to live in their little area, not travel outside of it. And oh,
yeah, but you
here's the
could.
thing. Here's the thing, Charlie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When you listen to my last panel, you'll understand why none of this stuff is possible and why it's relevant now. Because I'm going to tell you something, quite frankly. They don't give a damn if you're here tomorrow or not.
no, they don't.
And you listen to my last panel and you will understand it unequivocally with proof. Not just my government, but all governments. That
I know you're saying. I know what you're saying. But
no, you really don't.
I
You
do. I
really
do.
don't. I'm going to tell you, Charlie. I would never have believed the shit that I come across the last time. I'd have never believed it.
You know what? I can't. I can't. I'll have to look at the last panel. I'll come on. Give me a week. I'll definitely watch the last panel, and then we'll have a great discussion. But
Yeah, for sure.
I believe it's all about. No, I got to take it easy. I'm very got to be sensitive here. I don't, you know what I mean?
What it boils
But
down to is they're pushing for a one world centralized, basically
currency?
governing body. That's what it boils down to. Everything that people blatted about being conspiracy and all this bullshit and the WHO and all this stuff. Well, yeah, it turns out it's true. And you can go around the UN's own documents and read what their agendas are. It's quite startling.
Yeah.
Especially, you should read the part about the things they believe should be decriminalized. That
What?
will.
What's? All right. Just give me a little hint.
Well, let's put it this way: they don't believe it should be criminal for adults to have sex with children.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not shitting you.
Oh no! Don't.
It's
I
right in
don't
their
go.
own.
Don't go
It's
there.
right
Oh,
in their own
fuck.
paper.
That comes from the
That is.
UN. That comes from the UN.
Hold on. Hold on. Who's? No, don't say that, please. Don't
No,
say
I'm
that.
absolutely. I'm 100% serious. I wouldn't say
What?
it if I
What?
don't have the shit to back it up. Trust me.
What government? What government's pushing that?
The
That is the
United Nations.
UN. The United Nations is pushing that shit.
Get out of here. You know
Yep.
what? They should be hung. Those. Oh, don't. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's sickening. That's very sickening. Because I got children.
Yeah, me too. I've got grandchildren, guy.
Yeah. That's, you know what? That's. I'm
No, I'm
speechless.
not kidding you. You can
I'm
literally,
speechless.
you can.
I'm
I'm gonna tell you
speechless, guys.
straight up, Charlie. You can go on to the United Nations website, look at their recommendations for the future and things like that, and you will find that in their paperwork. It's there.
Yep.
And
They don't
many
even
other
they don't
many
even
other
hide it
things.
anymore. They don't hide it anymore. You know, they bring it just up
Mate,
like
they
it
should be.
is.
I shouldn't say easy, but they should be hung or shot.
Yeah,
The
I
people
agree.
the
Well,
people that even
and
anyway
you need,
easy. I know.
yeah. Let's stick to what we can do that's factual and not give our opinions, because unfortunately our opinions is what seems to be the problem. Um, which is the reason I hold these panels and why this panel is what it's about. It's about censorship. It's the new truth.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this.
There's a
To
lot
be
of
honest.
things I will tell you, Charlie, that a lot of people aren't aware of.
And therefore,
Yeah,
Charlie, I can just give you an advice. Even if you say you don't know a lot of politics, get
I
into
don't.
that. Go into that because it's affecting everybody, every country. Yours, mine, every country.
When
Every.
I when I was 10 years old, I knew nothing about politics. I considered my mum and dad to protect me.
When we were 10 years old, we didn't have to bother about anything, you know?
When we
When I
were
was
10 years old, we didn't have um, uh, trans people dancing around in our fucking classrooms either.
correct.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
See,
You know, and don't get me
it's
wrong,
scary, man. I know,
I,
man.
I'm not trying to bang on people with alternative lifestyles. I don't care what an adult does; they can do whatever the hell they want in their own
I
mind.
know, I know you're
But don't.
saying.
But there's no way in hell I'm going to accept that they're going to say that it's okay for them to do that. Bullshit. As you said, when you
It's
were 10 years
BS.
old, your
Yep,
parents were supposed to be there to protect you.
correct. That's right. Not and the government should back our parents. But this
You
is the
would think.
thing. You
You
think,
would
yeah, but I was born in this late 60s. It's amazing.
think.
Things have changed, man.
Charlie, I do believe you're the same age I am. So
I'm in mid-50s.
Charlie is the oldest from us, Robert. He's even a year older than I am. I'm 54 and he's 55. He's an old fella, you know?
oh, okay. So Charlie's the old man on the panel.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he's the old man, yeah.
I've got two children. I've never denied that.
Yeah, and especially bring that information to your children, that they know what to have to be aware of, you know? That
Yeah,
they
but
don't bring their children or your grandchildren to school and getting educated like 600 genders, or a man can give fucking birth, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That's what they do.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just weary. I mean, when I turn into a grandfather, I'm going to be very suspicious about the education department.
As well, you should be.
Correct.
Gerald, okay, Gerald, we'll allow you to have this. You're the official old fart here. All right, guy, we got
We
you.
give you that award. We give you that award, Gerald.
But end of the day, you it's children are innocent. As a parent, you got to protect your children.
And that's the thing. They should be.
Yeah,
Children
but
should be allowed to be children.
correct.
They shouldn't be bombarded
With
with
this
a bunch of what I would
cross gender
consider,
crap. That's
well,
bullshit,
someone's
man.
personal agendas. It just
That's
should
right.
not be.
I know. You should. Look. Whatever happens in your bedroom, I don't care if you're
I
gay
don't
or
either.
lesbian.
I don't care what they want to do in their bedroom,
But
but
But at least make it happen when you're 20 years old or 18 years old, whatever it is. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I'm not here to judge anyone.
The thing is, Charlie,
But
the real gay community or whatever, they are all against that shit either. You know,
yeah, but that
that doesn't come out of the gays. This comes
but
out of fucking extremist, freaking whatever you want to call them, communists, Maoists, whatever they are.
I
They
don't
are
know what they
fucking
are.
they are mental sick,
Yeah,
man. They are fucking
yeah.
mental sick.
I know you've I can sense in your voice your frustration, and you're very upset about this. So am I. But the thing is, there's a 10-year-old child shouldn't be pushed that agenda.
no,
You know what I mean?
absolutely not.
Yeah, that's my opinion, guys.
I don't even have own children, you know. And I honestly, I feel a little bit guilty that we can't do more than standing up and saying, "Wait a minute, what the fuck are you talking about?" You know,
Well, but
we
that's the
can't.
thing, Uwe, and it's coming to the point. That's the point of this panel. It's coming to the point to where we can't even do that. Where we look at, if you look at realistically what's went on in the past 3 years, we can't even have an honest conversation. Even
Yeah,
right now, literally, as funny as we may seem to be at moments, it isn't. We aren't children to tell me what to think and how to feel. I don't need them to protect me from what they deem as the boogeyman, because it doesn't follow their narrative, nor does it follow my truth. That's their world, not mine.
but we come to another point that many parents these days don't even take their responsibility to educate their children at home. They give it all in the hand of the schools, which are all infiltrated by this bullshit, and they are both working, and they don't even have time enough to spend enough time with their children to say, wait a minute, what they say you there, that's all bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
Most of
Okay,
them don't
Big
even
D.
know what they talk about in school, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem, Big Dice. Do what you got to do. I don't expect everybody to listen to all the time or catch all these things. I just do it for, if people want to listen, they can. No, TPR, that is not the part I'm speaking of. Um, you know, it boils down to this. And a lot of people, even if these people on the other side would realize what they're doing, They're literally begging for their own change, because if they think they're going to be a special snowflake when it comes to governmental stuff, they're sadly wrong. History proves that. They should realize themselves at this point in time they're only being used as a useful tool. And when it comes back around, it's going to bite them just as well. But unfortunately, more people are concerned about their personal agendas instead of what we have in common. And individual rights and human rights should be first.
I sort of agree with
Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech.
Lieutenant.
I should be able to say any damn thing I want when it comes to that. Freedom of
I sort of
speech
agree.
doesn't mean you have to listen.
Yeah, I sort of agree with Lieutenant. Maybe the end is near. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't care to speculate on that. I do know that
well, I was
we
talking
need
to
to speak up.
I was talking to MacGyver regarding the magnetic North and South Pole. Things are shifting. Yeah,
Well,
America's had the most coldest winter in record times. Correct?
I don't know
So
about that.
That's what they say. You know, if that is true.
Okay, but Charlie, let me put things into perspective. Okay,
okay.
pole shifting on this planet has happened for billions of years.
Correct.
Climate on this planet has changed for billions of years, and it will, with or without us. As little as a few million years ago, what we consider nations and continents were totally different. And in the future, they're going to be totally different again. And climate's going to be totally different again.
So, can someone explain why we haven't got no dinosaurs roaming around?
Because they died.
What made them
Why?
die?
Why? Okay, hold on. Why don't we have?
So, therefore, there's facts, there's truth in the matter that the Earth had some sort of climatic disaster.
For sure.
Scientists say it might have been something to do with meteor. They hit the Earth, therefore, it didn't see sunlight for 100 years. Ice age, the Earth froze. That's the one theory. There's
Well,
no
no.
theory that.
Hold on. Let's clarify something though.
Yeah.
In legitimate science, and I'm not going to say that what we've had in the past 3 years has been legitimate, because it certainly has not been. Because they try to tell people that science is built by consensus. No, it's not. Science is built by dissent. That's why they have this thing called falsification. You don't try to prove it right, you try to prove it wrong. If you can't prove it wrong, it's most likely the correct answer.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. So
And that totally turned on its head these past few years.
when
Now,
I
when
was
somebody
inside,
says theory in a scientific form, that means it's the most likely answer. Not that they're guessing, but that's the most likely answer. Now, may something come about to change that? For sure.
correct.
But it
I
isn't
know.
the same way we use theory in natural language.
Okay, so in theory, there's proof that dinosaurs roamed our planet Earth. Correct? Yes
Oh,
or no?
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Actually, it was neither. It was a single-celled organism,
And what was that called?
an amoeba. They're still around.
So you're telling me a chicken needs to be fertilized, correct? A chicken is an egg needs to be fertilized. You can have 100 chickens in your farm, but you need one
Hold on,
rooster.
Charlie. Charlie, are you a farmer?
I've studied a bit of it.
Pardon?
Yeah, I'm not a farmer.
Okay,
Regarding
now
chickens,
well, I'll go one further. Are you a breeder?
no, not.
Okay, now, and I'll give you an example. I actually took classes in genetics just so I could breed chickens.
Okay.
And
Say,
in six
say,
generations,
yeah.
with the chickens I started with, they had an average of 3 pounds.
Okay.
By
Good
the,
subject. This is a great
by
subject.
the time I was done in those 6 generations, my
Yeah.
males averaged 9 pounds.
Okay.
All
Say,
because of specific choice breeding.
yeah. Correct.
Breeding for the traits that I wanted. Now, when it comes to uh, things in the wild, or even humans for that matter, we're all dictated by the same forces. If everybody that had,
Correct.
say, blue eyes only bred with people with blue eyes, then predominantly they're going to have blue-eyed children.
Yeah. And it's all about the gene pool. But all right, I'll give you an example. So you're a chicken farmer. So you got 100 chickens, hens. How do all you got to do is produce eggs, but no fertilization.
Right?
You need a rooster, correct?
No, you don't have to have a rooster for that. No,
What do you do?
you don't have to have a rooster for hens to lay
You don't.
eggs.
No. Now hold on. To produce offspring,
Yes, you have to have a rooster.
correct? So
Well,
therefore,
you have to have a rooster or you have to have a scrim,
all
one
right.
of the
whatever it is.
two. Are you volunteering, Charlie?
Come on, come on. This is a great this is a great debate. I love these debates. I used to debate this with my science teacher. So what come first, the chicken or the egg?
um,
No,
it
I'm
really
talking
doesn't
about.
work. It really doesn't work that way because there may have been a precursor to what the modern egg is.
Hold on a
An
second.
example. Hold on. I will explain it to you.
Okay, all
You
right.
look at beings that chickens are closely related to reptiles. They're just basically a warm-blooded reptile. If you want to look at it from a very basic standpoint, that is not
Scientific,
scientific. It is
scientific.
not
Yeah,
scientifically correct,
it
but
is.
it is very close.
It's very
But
very close, very close.
you look at turtles and alligators and other reptiles that lay eggs,
Dinosaurs.
snakes even. They were soft shell. They were covered in a soft shell,
Yeah,
a
correct.
membrane. It really wasn't a shell. It was just a membrane. Okay, which eventually evolved into what we have as chickens today. Now, how that happened? Well, yeah, through breeding of birds and what survived and what didn't. Um, it's a simple concept, but when you ask for answers that are definitive, you have to understand it isn't something that just poof, chickens showed up on the scene. No, it was a process.
All right, answer my question. Go back. What come first, the egg, the chicken, or the egg?
The
Can you
lizard,
answer that?
the lizard come first.
The lizard come first. Well, a lizard's basically what's the oldest living mammal in the world? Would have to be the whale and the shark.
A shark is
Correct.
not a mammal. A shark is a fish.
Yeah, true.
A
I'm
whale is
testing
a
you out.
mammal.
I'm testing you out. I'm testing you out.
I think the crocodiles are freaking old on this
No,
planet.
the oldest, one of the
Yeah,
oldest
the oldest
nation.
reptile on the planet. It's either crocodiles or it could be turtles, Uwe.
No, no, uh, mammal would have to be the whale. The oldest,
Possibly. I can't say for certain
the
on that. I
largest.
don't
Oh,
know.
sorry.
I
I
really
should, I
don't
should,
know.
I should have I should rephrase that. The largest mammal on this planet Earth would have to be the whale,
Well,
correct?
yes, the largest
And
mammal is
then
a
and
whale for
then
sure.
and then you got the elephants second.
Yeah, I believe
Before
so.
the elephants, there was the mammals, man. So
Well, elephant is a mammal.
That is a mammal. That's a mammal. It
Yes.
yeah,
breeds. Yeah.
But that was
and that-
there. That was there before the elephant. You know, that's what I mean.
What was there? What was there?
Let me ask you,
So-
what come first, Charlie?
It's-
Did
yeah.
Charlie come first, or did your shoes come first? Which came first?
My mum and dad come first before me.
Well, no, your dad. He's the only one that came. I'm sure your mom probably was very disappointed.
Mum was carrying the eggs. Mum was carrying the eggs. Okay. we got that. We got that straight. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mum and dad. None of us would be here.
Correct. Now,
Say,
are you exactly like your mom and dad?
yeah, obviously we got resemblance. We got gene
But
pool.
you're not an exact clone, right?
Correct.
So now you understand how
My
changes happen.
dad had blue eyes and blonde hair.
And you look like a little monkey.
Correct.
Now, see, my dad, I have my dad's blue eyes and curly hair, but my dad is 5'6", and I'm
And-
6'5".
Wow. That's obviously your something to do with your grandmother.
Well,
It skips genes.
most of my grandfathers were over 6 foot, so that helps.
Yeah, you're a Viking.
But see, the thing of it is, though,
See?
their offspring, my grandfathers, were not predominantly tall, but their next generation, those genes managed to pop up, and me and my cousins are large men. Even though, and many times, we are much larger than our fathers.
Yeah. If you looked at my dad, he was like a Viking. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
So what the hell happened to you, mailman?
Yeah, well,
Milkman?
he married. Yeah, well, he married a brunette with brown eyes, and I. But
So
mind you,
you're a female,
but
you're a male
hey,
version of your mother.
but listen to this. I got siblings, brothers and sisters, but my son has got blonde hair and blue eyes. Won't go look.
And do you know why that is?
Who done that? What was that?
What color? What color is your eyes there, Charlie?
Brown. I got
Brown.
brown eyes.
Now, do you know why that is?
It skipped the genes. So
No.
therefore,
You
okay, go ahead.
you carry one dominant gene and one recessive gene for eye color. And the person that you married carried possibly two, or is your wife blue-eyed or brown?
She was brown.
Okay. So both of you carried a recessive gene. So that means you had a 1 out of 4 chance of having a child with blonde hair and blue eyes.
That's actually, you know what? That's very logical.
No,
You
that's
just mentioned.
science, buddy.
No, because
genetics.
because my sister, her husband's got blue eyes, and firstborn, my niece, she's got blue eyes and blonde hair. So
But what I'm saying though is
yeah,
when you're looking at a person, you can't guess their genetics just by looking at them.
no,
Like in your
correct.
case, if you're brown haired, brown eyed, that's because you carry one dominant gene for that.
Yeah,
But you carry a recessive gene for blonde hair and blue eyes, and so did your wife. Hence why you had children with blonde hair and blue eyes. Now,
yeah.
the
See,
chances of that were a lot less than having brown haired, brown eyed children, but you still had a chance, and that's
but
genetics.
in saying that, when I was born, I had blonde hair.
Well,
I,
but that yeah, when I
that's
was
just
born,
yeah,
I had strawberry blonde hair as well, but now it's dark
yeah,
brown. It changes with
yeah.
age.
My hair was pretty wavy, not curly,
Well,
but
mine used to
wavy.
actually, believe it or not, be almost bone straight, and now I look like one of the brothers from the city.
Anyway, Mr. Tucker, we got a new guest here.
Yeah, it's TPR. How you doing, TPR?
I'm good.
Hey,
How are
what's
you guys doing?
going on,
Good,
man?
good, good. We're
If
kind of
you,
getting
if you, if you,
we're kind of getting off base here, but
Yeah, I wanted to ask a quick question, and I was going to say with the caveat that I don't want to get really far off topic,
okay.
which was for Charlie specifically. And it's not a condemnation or anything. It's just curiosity, so I understand your viewpoint. Are you a creationist, Charlie?
I believe in creationists.
Okay,
That's
fair
a
enough.
very
That's
no. Hold on a minute. No one's ever actually questioned me. Am I a creationist?
well. Do you believe in evolution, or do you believe that?
I believe in I believe in evolution.
Okay. That's. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah. Sorry. Nice to meet you. By the way.
Yeah, you as well. I left a link for you in chat. It's another Australian that I subscribe to who's does a lot of growing of vegetables and fruit
oh,
Yeah.
on his property. It's interesting.
Yeah.
if,
I'll have
if,
to. I'll have
if Charlie, if you need advices, you ask Prepper, man. I mean, come on.
No,
don't-
no.
Please
That's
don't get prepper. Please don't get prepper.
Uwe,
Don't do that.
don't do that.
Don't do that, man. You know me and prepper, they get along.
I'm
was
teasing
just-
you, man. I'm teasing you.
It was just
Me and
came up.
prepper. Come on, man. Me and prepper. I'm his kryptonite. I'm his kryptonite. You know that.
What was when you were talking about grocery prices? I was like, yeah, broccoli
Yeah,
here
no,
is
I-
$11, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we can't afford that. But
Mate.
No, that's crazy.
I really
That's insane.
can I say
$11 for broccoli? Are you serious?
But
Holy
hold on,
shit,
hold on,
man.
wait.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead, Charlie.
So I'm referring to TPR,
Yeah.
snooker player. A snooker player? Or what is this?
I grew up as a snooker player, but I've transitioned to pool as I've gotten older. Like, for example, when I was born, I had hair. I no longer do. There's a big missing patch in the
Doesn't matter.
center.
I'm not here to judge.
And I can't see 12 feet. So I can't play snooker anymore. But yeah, I do play
sad.
pool.
That's sad.
Have you
man.
heard about that Ronnie lost today?
Ronnie?
Really,
I haven't watched. But
I'm really sad. He's my
Anyways,
hero, man. I love that guy.
I'll have to look at that link.
But
I'll have to look at that link, TPR.
yeah, it's in the chat.
Anyways, to steer us back to what we were talking, what this panel is about, and it brings up a good point by this question that you made, TPR. The whole debate between creationism versus evolution. Should either of those concepts be censored?
They shouldn't. They were trying to push it in, I believe it was Texas a few years ago, that they were trying to push the book of Pandas and People on school-age children. And I'm like, that's not okay.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's the creationist textbook.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is, though, when it comes to context of this panel, and as I said before, freedom of speech means you get to say what you wish to say. Freedom of speech doesn't mean I have to listen. And
Children aren't that smart.
And I agree with you on that, TPR. That point I'm not going to debate. What we're looking at now, and what people from any side don't realize, is what's going on is going to hurt us all. As I said before, you can't solve problems if you can't have honest discussions. And hence, like me and TPR, we disagree on many things, but I still like the guy.
That's because I pay you every month. Don't lie.
Well, hey, that's because you're subscribed to my OnlyFans page. Come on now. There's an obligation there. But see, that's the point, though. Differing opinions are okay as long as they can be rebuffed and rebuffed back. Now, when it comes to opinion, there is no truth because it becomes opinion. But it still doesn't. It shouldn't mean that people shouldn't have the ability to have these discussions, and not because of ourselves, but because of regulations, governments, corporations, or whatever. They shouldn't be allowed to censor what we say. Now, granted, there are certain things like if you're going to, threaten people's lives or something like that, that's common sense. But what I'm speaking of when it comes to our lives and our day-to-day things, we should be able to speak our opinions, whether someone agrees with them or not. Um, and it shouldn't be an argument. Now, if we want to have a debate about certain topics, that's fine. That can happen. But when it becomes toxic in arguments, then it is a problem. And we've lost that ability, not just because of that, but because of censorship.
Yeah, but Mr. Tucker, I'm into a great debate. We can discuss whatever you like. I'm in for the long haul. But yeah,
But that's the
I
point.
have
though.
a question on censorship when you're ready.
yeah.
Hey, go ahead,
See-
TPR.
Okay, well, like Gerald says the same thing in the chat, that things shouldn't be censored. I don't know if he's referring specifically to what you were saying, Lead, but let's talk about censorship. And, we should teach our children creationism. So should we then teach them about underage sex? Is that okay to teach a 5-year-old? Should
But
we
you're-
now
whoa,
talk
whoa, whoa,
about
whoa,
gender
whoa, whoa.
reassignment?
Oh, okay, hold on.
Where's the line?
easy.
Where's the
about
line?
that.
That's all I'm
wait a
asking.
minute. Wait.
Easy,
That's false
because-
equivalency. Okay, there's a difference between teaching a religious concept and teaching sexual concepts. Now, I went to church when I was a kid.
We all
That's
did.
fine. Well, many did, some didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to a fucking drag show when I was a kid. I didn't go to a strip club when I was a kid. And there's a whole other difference there.
So who made the decision of what was right?
That's not a valid question.
This is what the governments are trying to push our children.
Okay, but who makes the decision about what is okay to teach children and what is not?
It should be the parents.
It's something to do with the education department.
So I got two different opinions there. Which one's right?
The parent should be right, first of all.
It can't be definitely not the freaking government making the decision what age you're going to teach your children about sexuality and all that stuff. It can't be by the government.
But
no way.
But the parents, your parents taught you, yeah?
Yeah, but the thing is, that's what I said earlier, that they don't even pay attention anymore what's happening in school. First of all, they are both too busy with doing a full-time job to pay all the bills they have with 2 times a year a journey and 2 cars and 5 televisions and all that stuff. And the next thing is that they give the whole education to the teacher. And the teacher getting infiltrated by this freaking woke bullshit,
Yeah,
education. That's the problem.
Yeah, but he's pushing
the parents also get the same push on everything has to be woke. Yeah. So what makes the difference between the parents and the teacher? The teacher might have children.
I think the children should be have a say. Again, this it's all BS, to be honest.
But that's the problem.
A child shouldn't have to worry about agendas at the age of 10 years old.
Absolutely.
Have you read what's in the Bible? If your wife's not a virgin, you must stone her to death. That's in the Christian Bible. So
that's for them. That's for them.
We teach that, right?
Yeah, but wait a second, TPR. Okay, as much as I agree with you in your dissent from religion, those things aren't in practice in this country, at least.
It's still in our Bible.
I'm not going to debate that fact, but what I am saying is what is practice is the only thing I can go by and what's being done. And it's the same thing when it comes to anything else that children are going to be exposed to. It isn't when it comes to religion, that directly should be to, okay, Charlie popped in and out.
Yeah.
That's up to their parents when it comes to religion. Now, when it comes to education in schools, when we step outside the bounds of basic biology and maths and spelling and all the other fun things that we did in school, tongue in cheek, we shouldn't be worried, or kids shouldn't have to be worried about being exposed to what are, in my opinion, adult social issues. I don't care what someone does in their bedroom as an adult. What I do care about is they shouldn't be doing that in front of children in school. Whether I had children or grandchildren or not becomes irrelevant. Children should be allowed to be children. We teach them the best they can to make the best decisions that they can, hopefully. Unfortunately, the world we live in now is very much influenced by social media, which has given platforms to some of the most extremist of ideas when it comes to, shall we say, alternate thoughts, to be, to kind of skirt the censors.
I think I don't think I know what I'm trying to say, but I think the easiest way to put it is when they teach creationism in school, what they're teaching them is do not trust science. And then they turn around and say, we don't have enough students.
That's not a truism across the board, TPR.
When you look at that one textbook that's being used, that is what it says.
Okay, but what I'm saying is there's many people who are religious, even scientists who are religious.
I'm religious.
Well,
I just don't follow the code book that says that I must do this.
That's fine. That's your choice when it comes to religion. But we're not talking about religion when you're talking about having transsexuals dancing around in front of children in school. Now, I will make this point very clear. If they were going to take a woman, as you pointed out in the Bible, take her to a kid's school and stone her to death in front of children, I'd have a huge fucking problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case. Okay, that is totally irrelevant, and it's a false equivalency. You know, what we're talking about now is what is actually being done, and it's not a belief system. And what they're trying to do, and I know you disagree with that as much as I do, but what they're trying to do is equate that to things what they want to normalize. And that's bullshit. You know as well as I do, that is simply unacceptable.
I'm on the same side as you are. I'm just presenting it in a different way.
I'm not saying that you're not. I'm trying to hash that out in a reasonable manner, because I don't want to get to where I don't want to be bashing a religion. I don't want to be, because there's so many across the board. Whether I agree with them or not becomes irrelevant. But the one thing I can point to when it comes to equivalence, we're not on equal footing, because those things aren't happening in a school setting.
I think you explained it half an hour ago. You explained it the best, Robert. It is about not to prove the truth. It's about to prove the other side. And there's no proof at all for any more than two freaking genders. And that's fucking simple. And that's the thing. And they start an education system basing on fucking ideologic freaking mental sick idiots, weirdos, that there is 600 or more genders, and everybody can choose their gender daily, you know?
Well, and that's where a few things that I think where religion and science do agree upon. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't a man and a woman. whether you believe in the Bible or whether you believe in evolution. Makes no difference.
Exactly. Yep. I agree on that.
See, the point I'm trying to get back to is censorship, and some things should be censored from children. You should not be pushing multiple genders or sexual beliefs on children. They're not capable of making that decision.
Absolutely not. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
And
agree
I
on
think
that.
we all agree.
But
I think we all
that's
agree on that one.
Yeah.
So you got to be at least 18 years old, not 10 years old.
yeah, well, an average is about 23 years old is the time that your brain is fully developed and you start to make logical choices. So maybe they have to up the age at which you can shove some kind of doctrine, whether it's a science doctrine or whether it's religious doctrine or political doctrine, down people's throats.
Yeah.
I mean
Politics.
the right age we can debate, or I think there's you can't say there has to be 18 or 21 or 23 or 25, whatever. So, but they definitely has to be at least 18, because 18 is, I think, in most countries, then when you are officially by the law adult, 18, or some countries have, I think, 21, but here it's 18, and I think it's in the most Western countries. And
Correct.
then everybody should have their own choice to educate themselves in something they believe in or not, but not
Okay.
infiltrating them with an age of 3, 5, or 10 in school, and talking them any bullshit there is absolute no proof for.
Don't even call it. Just call it horseshit. Horseshit. It's bullshit. Oh, horseshit. Whatever.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um,
See, the thing is, Uva, as a parent, I'll look at. My children will end up eventually having children, and that's going to be policy. It's okay. It's okay to be at a 5-year-old. A male can be dress up as a girl. That's crazy, man. Come on, man. What's going on with this fucking world? Anyways,
Yeah.
One thing, I've had a very religious person that I know who was a friend tell me was like, she set out these rules like, don't just hug my child. You don't force your love on them. They have to make the decision. I'm like, it's a baby. Some people are going to say nice things to the baby and want to hold the baby. It's If you don't want people to hold your child, that's fine. You make that rule, but don't push that out in social media. Then it's like, oh, it's the child's choice, and my child is non-binary, and I'm like, oh my god,
oh
confuse the
Jesus,
poor thing.
yeah,
No.
no. But see, that's
Uh,
the whole thing, TPR, and it really is what it boils down to. Is just as I told people as adults, and actually I've said this to Uwe. Don't allow the bullshit to confuse what you're doing and fall into those traps. And that's what they're trying to do to children. And children don't have the skills to recognize the difference. If they did, they wouldn't be children, now would they?
exactly. Yeah.
Um,
So my point is, to go back to your original topic, is that some censorship, is a good thing. There's
well,
certain things you should not be allowed to talk about.
and I don't call that censorship because how do I put this in a politically correct way? A lifestyle choice meant for adults should not be presented to children. That's not censorship. That's Aiken, in my opinion. Um, I don't even know an equivalence to that I can just ring off the top of my head. Would I give a 5-year-old a loaded gun and say, "Here, play Russian roulette"?
Is it a
Because
revolver or semi-auto?
well, I don't.
Because 5 out
Well,
of 6
a
doctors agree
semi-auto
Russian
kind
roulette
of
is
defeats the
safe.
whole person of Russian roulette, doesn't it? um, the the thing of it is, that's not censorship, because children aren't able to discern those differences, whereas an adult, we are. Now,
Yeah,
do we
correct.
censor children? No, hold on. Do we censor children and try to tell them, hey, watch your language? Hey, I don't want you. Would you turn, Charlie? What you got going on there, guy? You sound like you just jumped off a bridge.
What happened?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, you had a bunch of racket going on there, guy.
Oh, it's my internet.
Well, no, you're fine now, but before you had a bunch of noise.
Anyways, carry on.
What I was getting at is, I kind of lost my train of thought now.
You're saying a 5-year-old
Okay, hold on.
has a 5-year-old hasn't got the ability to understand politics, or
Correct. Nor do they have the ability
or
to understand adult
and
decisions.
correct.
Okay, but what you're going to end up with in that case is someone like there's extreme right and there's extreme left, and people on the extreme left will say you are censoring us by not allowing those children the freedom that they deserve, and that will be their argument. So
Well, they can have
you
their argument all they
you
want,
are.
but it doesn't change.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? I'm just showing you the other side. I know what they're going to say.
That argument, that argument, make a 5-year-old can probably have better choices regarding a presidential choice. Have a 5-year-old running the country, if that's their belief. A 5-year-old is a child, correct? Yes or no?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What it boils down to this, though, is they're trying to normalize what should be adult decisions into a child's world. That's wrong.
Yep. But that's why I'm saying some censorship is a good thing. There's certain things you don't.
That's not censorship, in my opinion.
Well,
They
that's
can claim it
because
all they
they're on
want,
one
but
side.
it's not. Trying to force an adult situation upon a child is not censorship.
Yeah.
That
Us
whole
being
thing
able
comes.
to talk, stopping us as adults from talking about it is censorship.
Mhm.
But stopping an adult from making sexual innuendos to a child or sexual situations is not censorship. Two totally different things. Even though if they want to argue argue till the cows come home, it don't make a damn difference. That's if that's the case, then they should be able to justify the children that in many African countries that they strap guns to or bombs to and say, well, they're old enough to make that choice.
Well, that's all they've been taught. Again, that comes back to don't force doctrine down people's throats. Don't tell them that you have to be creationist or you'll go to hell. Because around where I live, I've had those people on my doorstep who told me I was going to burn in the hellfire because I smoked. And I'm like, can you get off my lawn? Because I actually have a loaded gun right here.
Well, that may be the case in some people, but not all people are like that, TPR.
Well, Mormons are like that. They
That's
just
very
don't
possible.
advertise
I don't know.
Scientologists are like that.
Yeah, but Scientologists, they're a whole different level. But you could say the same thing about Buddhists. You could say the thing about Hinduism. You could say the same about Zoroastrianism or any number of different things.
I will only correct one thing in that. Buddhism is not a religion. Buddhism is a way of life. It's very
well,
different.
yes, but it's still an ideology.
It's just about respecting the things around you and being aware of them. That's all it is. It's not like you must do this and you must do that and you have to hate that guy. There's none of that in Buddhism.
Well, there's not supposed to be any of that in many things, but unfortunately there are, even for people who are non-religious, mind you.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the Bible too. I mean, the Crusades, right? Let's get rid of those dirty Muslims, and the Muslims are, let's get rid of the heathens. And so, oh my goodness, stop
Well,
fighting over a book.
yeah, but hold on. Dude, there's shit people in all walks of life. It doesn't matter. I've met decent people who are strictly non-religious. I've met decent people who are really religious. I've met some shit people who are super religious, and I've met shit people who are not. Um, and in many cases, it doesn't matter when it comes to that, because it's irrelevant to what I'm speaking of. There's good and bad in all walks of life. That's readily apparent to anybody who's lived any kind of a life. That'd be like saying somebody who's not religious, that's a thief, would come and steal the very last dollar that you'd have, and you may starve from it. And the exact opposite could be true as well. That's the unfortunate part of us being human beings. And to look at it from a religious point, none of us are perfect. Have a good one, Gerald. Take care, man. And even in
Yeah,
religion,
Joe.
it says the same thing. If you're going to go by that standard, it says the same thing. We are imperfect. And I can say the same thing without a religious bent. We are imperfect. We're humans. If we could get greed, ego, and power searching from many people, we would live in a totally different world. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. Charlie, did you want to say something?
I was going to say, go back to when you were 5 years old.
Say again?
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, you're real quiet
very
again.
Quiet. Yeah.
Quiet?
You're very low, yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on. But consider yourself as a 5-year-old. Do you know anything about politics, cross-gender? You're born a male, you're born a female.
Yeah, for sure. That's the point, though. That's the difference. Children shouldn't have to think about those things.
Correct. That's my. I'm on the same page with you guys. I believe it's as a child.
I go even further. Even adults shouldn't think about that. But it's your own decision if you like to think about it. But
it doesn't matter. Once you turn 18 or 21, I don't give a fuck. Even 30. If you want to become a female, even though you're in a man's body, it's up to you. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. Whatever it's sex.
I think we're all just tired of it being forced down our throats. Like, this is who I'm sleeping with. I don't care, Dylan. I really don't care.
Try your mic again there, Charlie.
Yeah, it's really sick. It is absolutely sick. But the worst part on all, I can already repeat myself, the worst part is that especially the parents who have their children in school, in kindergarten, are not all staying up and say, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here? They all don't do anything, and that's the same as you comply.
Yeah,
well, that comes down to a bigger issue of people not paying attention anymore. They're more interested in their telephone than they are their children, and their children don't say anything because they're busy on the phone, and the parent doesn't notice because they're busy on their phone. So there is no communication, and they don't know what their children are being taught. And when they find out, they suddenly freak out like, why didn't anybody tell me? Well, maybe if you put down your phone for 5 friggin' seconds and had a conversation with your child outside of a text message, you might learn a few things.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the same token, though, I will say much of that is tried to be hidden as well. And guys, give me 1 second. Charlie, try to say something. Charlie?
Asleep.
No. Huh.
I heard a thunk. I didn't hear any words though.
Can you hear me at all?
You're really
Yeah.
super quiet, Charlie.
Do you want to, should I step down and come back?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
All right, cool.
But you know what is really, really sad, TPR? That a 5 or 6 year old doesn't even realize that it has to bring that stuff up at home, you know? Because
Well,
that child doesn't know what's going on there, what they're telling her,
exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
I think the difference is like when I was a kid, many moons ago, when we hunted dinosaurs. My parents asked me, like,
Okay, go ahead.
what are you learning in school? I would actually tell them because it was expected that I would say, "Sir, ma'am, please, and thank you." And that when my parents asked me a question, of course, I was engaged with my parents enough to say, "This is what they're teaching us," or "I don't understand this, Dad."
Yeah.
Even when I got to my first bunch of college, I still asked my father, I'm like, "Dad, I don't understand this about radio theory." And so he would sit me down and we would discuss it, because that's just the way I was raised. Now it's like, please don't talk to me. Mommy is busy on her social media account.
Yeah.
So if the kid has no outlet to even tell them or ask them, like, is this okay? You're like, "Mom, have you ever heard of this?" They're like, "I don't care. I'm busy. I have to post to Instagram." Right? There's no communication anymore.
Well, that's an unfortunate part too. The other part of it is, I will say that many parents um, are so damn busy working that they're literally either being raised by the school or daycare.
Yeah.
My daughter and her husband, he's a police officer and she's a BSN. I wished I lived down there, but if going to work their jobs, their hours, their jobs require many times long hours. Um, Now, granted, they've made some changes and stepped away from a few things. And, they're going to make a little less money, but that gives them more time with their children. Um, and it shouldn't be that way. The idea that someone, well, like my daughter, she was working 6-7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Sometimes more than that if they required them to run 2 shifts. Are you back, Charlie?
Is that better?
Charlie, you're
You're
still really quiet.
still super quiet, but you have an avatar
Yeah.
this time.
Hold on. Can you boost my volume up, maybe?
It's like your mic's got a problem or something there, Charlie.
Do you have any control over his volume level at all, Lead?
Yeah, I can try it, but I don't know
Yeah, try it. Here we go.
if it'll.
Otherwise,
Okay, I'll take that off and go ahead and say something, Charlie.
can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I've
A
got
little
you.
bit better. A little bit better. Yeah.
I've got you turned up all the way. So I'm going to warn you
What?
that if you go to another panel and your mic starts working properly, you're going to blow people's eardrums out.
Well, all right. Thanks for the warning.
I think you got to. Are you on a phone or a computer?
I'm on the phone at the moment.
You're on a what?
The phone.
He's on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, you got a problem with your microphone for sure. Something's going
Just
on.
try aiming the bottom of the
Let me
phone
mute-
towards
I'll
your
mute
face.
myself. I'll see if I can work. Let me mute, guys. Carry on. I'll see if I can work this crap out. Carry on.
All right. Well, but anyways, actually, I'm going to end this pretty soon. I went way longer than I usually do. Then there's a reason why I try to keep them short, because I do have people that actually come back and listen to them.
Yeah.
The bottom line of it is, and I understand what TPR's point is when it comes to the arguments from the other side. And they're going to scream, "Well, you're censoring us from telling us." Well, no. I just don't want you talking about adult things to children. Sorry. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now. But when it comes to adult conversations, Governments or corporations or things like that should not be involved in censoring adults from having legitimate conversations or deeming what they may or may not believe to be legitimate links, because that's for each individual adult to assess themselves. That should not be done by a corporation or by a government.
I can see where that started from, and I understand their point of view. But they were very heavy-handed with it, unfortunately. The idea is to stop things like insurrections from happening by not allowing hateful speech that says that all these people are wrong, and I watched a YouTube video, so I know more than they do.
Yeah.
What they're scared of is that one guy that watched one YouTube video that was put out by some dude who lives in a basement gets more traction, and it ends up harming the human race as a whole.
Well, but in the same token, you can say that about anything, TPR.
Yeah, I'm just saying I understand where their point of view came from.
Well,
That's
opinion,
all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is it comes down to when they want to lock people up for not speaking. And the article that I showed probably at the beginning of this talks about that. Because they don't like what you're saying about a politician, then you no longer live in a republic or a constitution or have rights. You live in a dictatorship. No different than socialism or communism or any other isms you want to use.
Exactly.
I personally don't see any of them much different. If they don't believe in individual rights, sorry, I've got no use for you. And the ideas of censorship when it comes to anything else, as far as like what we're talking about, that's up to the person. And no matter what you do in society, you're always going to have a certain sect of society who is susceptible to dumb, stupid shit. That's a fact of life. It doesn't matter whether they see it on YouTube or they read it in a book or they're talking to somebody on the street. That's just the way it is. Censorship is not the answer. Never will be. Never has been. Unfortunately, I don't believe that that much of this is without other reasonings. It's unfortunate that we're at this point in many places around the world, but it can't be allowed to continue. It just can't. And on that note, guys, I am going to shut this down because my eyes are absolutely fucking killing me. I appreciate everybody that's been in chat. I appreciate everybody that's been on the panel for having a very, very good discussion.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, it was good like always.
It's definitely discussions that need to be had. And I appreciate everybody that's been here, more so than I think many people know. The people I see, at least I know some people are actually listening, and hopefully some of these concepts and ideas will be brought back to where we actually have discussions, reasonable discussions about things. Because if we don't, we're headed down a very bad road.
Yeah.
We're headed down a very bad road. So, and on that note, everybody, thank you very much. I will be shutting us down in 3, 2, 1, and we're out of here.
Take care, everybody.